This page is the cover of a SEGA Saturn magazine from early 1998, specifically the January 23rd issue. It's a substantial issue, touting itself as a class preservation edition packed with content. The main focus is clearly on strategy guides and cheats. The top headline promises a complete collection of Saturn cheats, alongside total strategy guides for two massive RPGs, Grandia and Uno. A girl who chants love at the edge of the world. The striking cover art features characters who appear to be from Grandia, with the central figure prominently displayed, and perhaps a character and creature from another featured title like Baroque or Chaos Seed. Featured games highlighted on the cover include some heavy hitters, like the epic Panzer Dragoon saga, called a SEGA Panzer Dragoon RPG here, the highly anticipated Grandia and Uno, plus fighting game mainstays like Real Bout Fatal Fury Special and X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Other notable titles like Soul Hackers, Cotton 2, Sega Rally 2, Baroque, and Chaos Seed are also featured. The issue launches a special series dedicated to comprehensive cheat techniques for the system, starting here with Part 1. They also showcase the latest new releases, including SD Gundam G Century S. It looks like a must-have issue for any Saturn owner at the time, covering major releases, niche RPGs, popular fighters, and system-level secrets. The next page features the legendary Sagata Sanshiro, the iconic face of the Sega Saturn in Japan. He is depicted holding a large scroll, bearing the powerful message, "This year too, Sega Saturn, Shiro." His famous catchphrase urging everyone to play the console. Signed by Sagata Sanshiro himself, this image embodies the passionate and unforgettable marketing campaign Sega ran for the Saturn. Against a backdrop of a vibrant sunset and the majestic Mount Fuji, the image captures the dramatic and intense persona of the character. The top corner includes the Sega Saturn logo alongside the simple yet effective tagline, "This is cool." This is a striking promotional image, instantly recognizable to fans, symbolizing Sega's commitment to the Saturn and Sagata Sanshiro's enduring call to action for gamers. Early in the new year, a wave of exciting software releases is planned. Leading the charge is the RPG Panzer Dragoon saga, known for its unique flying dragon combat. Solo Crisis, a strategy RPG, is also showcased, along with Machi, a visual novel with an interwoven narrative in Shibuya, Sentimental Graffiti, an adventure game focused on past relationships, and Winter Heat, a winter sports game, will also be available. Baroque, a dark fantasy RPG with a multiplot system, rounds out the lineup. A 3 disc present campaign will offer trial versions of select games with Sega Saturn console purchases. A Sega Saturn Festa event featuring Winter Heat is planned at Tokyo Joytopolis. This page highlights the official guides for the soccer simulation game, J.League Pro Soccer Club, wo Tsukuru. Two guides are presented. The Complete Data Edition, offering in-depth player statistics and advanced strategies, set for a mid-January release priced at 1,400 yen. The Management Edition, geared towards newcomers, focuses on club management and foundational gameplay, available for 950 yen, and noted as having received a large reprint. These guides promise to unlock the secrets to creating the ultimate soccer team. The page also features a SoftBank strategy guide campaign, where readers can win prizes such as a Game Boy Pocket, the PlayStation title Ape Escape, or the Game Boy game Tamagotchi, by applying through postcards found in eligible guidebooks. This page is the vibrant cover of the SEGA Saturn magazine's special issue for February 6, 1998, which hit shelves on January 23 for 580 yen. The main draw is prominently featured, a bonus Kierdrom packed with the latest information. The cover art showcases dynamic characters, including a red-haired figure strongly resembling a character from the high-octane platformer, Burning Rangers. The bonus CD is loaded with content, including trial versions of highly anticipated games such as the action-packed Burning Rangers, the strategic Mobile Suit Gundam, Guren's Ambition, the captivating puzzle adventure Riven, the sequel to Myst, the fantasy RPG, The Legend of Heroes, a tier of Vermilion, known as White Witch, and the ninja action title, Kunoichi Torimonocho. As an extra treat, the CD also includes an original shooting game titled Hakozaki Netsuko no Daiboken, created specifically for the magazine, using the DZGMO game creation tool. This issue clearly focuses on providing readers with playable demos and insights into the exciting upcoming releases and unique bonus content. This page displays the table of contents for the SEGA Saturn magazine, dated January 23, 1998, Volume 3, published by SoftBank Corp. Copyright notice is also present. The contents are broken down by page number. P18 features a New Year's lead special feature titled The 1998, focusing on the key players of the year. P30 offers an arcade special report revealing game footage for Sega Rally 2 Key. P32 is a major special report covering multiple anticipated titles. Panzer Dragoon Saga, listed as Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG. Baroque. Psychic Force 2012, listed as Senritsu Kiryoku Daisen Chaos Seed. Solo Crisis. The Kindaichi Case Files. Hoshimijima Kanashimi no Fukushu Oni. Dream Generation. Asking Love? Tikakum. Himitsu Sentai Metamol V. And Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team. This section previews a diverse range of genres, from RPGs and fighting games, to adventure, simulation, and sports titles. P89 presents a 2-issue continuous special project, and a rank preservation edition guide to SEGA Saturn's Secret Techniques Complete Network, presented here as the first installment. P134 features a strategy guide with maps for the epic RPG Grandia. The artwork on the right depicts a character who appears to be from the game Grandia, fitting with the strategy guide listed on tab 134. The overall layout highlights major upcoming releases and in-depth guides. This page presents the full table of contents and game index for this issue. The layout is organized with prominent sections detailing SEGA Saturn software. Featured sections include new release title covering games like Find Love 2 and Roommate 3, Coming Soon Soft, previewing titles such as SD Gundam G Century S, Hukago Renai Club and Gunblaze S, and a SEGA Saturn Soft Complete Guide, offering in-depth coverage for games like Uno, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, Galaxy Fraulein Una 3, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Cotton 2. There's also a focus on arcade titles in the AM Spot and Arcade Express section, highlighting Zero Gunner, and a specific feature on Sega AM1 and the Model 3 hardware, discussing games like Harley-Davidson and LA Riders. The Game Index provides an alphabetical list of titles featured in the magazine, with corresponding page numbers, including major releases like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Grandia, Baroque, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, and many others. Additional contents listed cover regular features such as news and information, data sections, reader contributions, Sega Press, technical advice, game reviews, and upcoming release schedules. The striking artwork on the right, credited as the cover illustration, features characters from Panzer Dragoon Saga. This page dives into upcoming events, starting with a focus on the Tokyo Game Show 98 Spring, held from March 20th to the 22nd at Makuhari Messe. This marked the 4th iteration of the show, expanding to a record 8 halls with 89 exhibitors. The article highlights key stage events, including popular programs like Chokido Anage Master. A vibrant visual features the show's unique mascot characters. Following the game show coverage is the Game Event Calendar 98, a comprehensive look at various events scheduled throughout 1998 and into early 1999, across different locations, like the Sega Joyopolis parks and major exhibition centers. The calendar lists a wide array of happenings, from free admission days and anniversary celebrations at Joyopolis locations, to major arcade and game shows like the AOU Show and JAMA Show. Specific events mention game tournaments for titles like Virtua Fighter 2, and hint at fighting game reveals, such as Fighting Vipers 2. Seasonal events like Halloween and Christmas festivals are also listed, sometimes featuring character appearances like Sonic Santa. The calendar is packed with details on where and when gamers could engage with their favorite titles and characters throughout the year. Small screenshots provide glimpses of some events, including a boat racing attraction and a traditional Rakugo performance that incorporated game themes. A small note at the bottom mentions a popular commercial award from the previous year. December's Road to Puyo Puyo Master event in Japan featured a celebrity match, a Sega Saturn tournament, and a demo of Waku Puyo Dungeon. The event introduced a new celebrity, Mr. Masumi. Readers could win mobile phones. Compile, the Puyo Puyo creators, launched Power Activity business software, hinting at a new direction. Ryoko Inu from the Saturn's Roommate series appeared in the PC title Roommate Plus One, with exclusive windows, 95 features, and a new character. A special Teleka card was included in the first print run. The character goods store, Konamiruku, opened a second location in Eijio, Saitama, with a grand opening featuring Masumi Kikuchi, voice actress of Shiori Fujisaki, and a festive atmosphere. This page highlights new media releases, including LDS, videos, and music, alongside minigame adaptations. Top billing goes to the Sakura Taisen Kaio Show, a live performance released on LD and video, featuring the popular series cast with bonus content. Next is Angelique, Kiss Kiss Kiss, a drama CD with voice actors, a mini CD, and character seals. Two popular games are adapting to portable minigames: Densha to Go, Let's Go by Train, and Tama and Friends, both with giveaway opportunities. The music section features releases from artists like Toko, Every Little Thing, and Eppo, plus Tokimeki Memorial Drama Crids, and a piano collection. Readers can also find information on how to enter giveaways. This page dives into a selection of game guide books and publications available for Sega Saturn players. The main focus is on Atelier Marie, The Alchemist of Salzburg, a popular simulation RPG. Multiple guides are reviewed, highlighting the different approaches taken by publishers. One focuses heavily on item data, another is a visual and data file, and a third is an official guide. The reviewer notes that each offers unique strengths, from detailed item lists to comprehensive game walkthroughs and event guides, suggesting that different guides might appeal to different players depending on their needs, from completing the game to simply enjoying the world and characters. The page also features reviews for guides covering other genres. There's a perfect guide for the adventure game, MJ the Mystery Hospital, providing a world guide, system explanations, and character introductions. For the tabletop-style strategy game Culdicept, a basic official guide is featured, praised for its design and comprehensive information on the game's system and cards. A strategy guide for the simulation RPG Ronde. Rondo focuses on navigating the Tokyo setting and details combat with demons. Finally, a pickup section highlights a book titled Game Boy Collection. While not a Saturn guide, it acknowledges that many Saturn users also play Game Boy, covering popular titles like Pokemon, Zelda, and Tetris, and even includes the latest info on Pokemon Gold and Silver. It's positioned as a nostalgic read for veterans and a good source of information for newer players. This page provides a detailed look at the Sega Saturn software sales rankings, presenting the top 15 bestsellers. Leading the chart at number 1 is the brand new RPG Grandia, which the commentary notes is selling solidly, not just explosively. Following in the top spots are J. League Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru 2, which has climbed the ranks, and Shining Force 2i Scenario 1, maintaining a strong position despite dropping from the top spot. Popular titles like A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, and X-Men vs. Street Fighter also hold steady in the top 5. Further down the list, you see familiar faces shifting positions, including Saturn Bomberman Fight, the compelling RPG Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, and the racing title Sonic R. The rankings also feature Sega Touring Car Championship and the beloved Atelier Marie, The Alchemist of Salzburg. A new entry, Susetsu Teiku Mudoku, makes its debut in the top 15, alongside Arcana Strikes, Maria, The Reason for Her Birth, Princess Crown, and JIKU Powerful Pro Baseball S. The commentary highlights the overall healthy sales across various genres, indicating a vibrant market for Saturn software. This page dives into what Sega Saturn owners were hoping for and what was popular in the arcade scene. Kicking off with the Want to Convert user data top 20, it lists the games players most desired to see ported to the Saturn. Leading the pack are titles like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel and Final Fantasy series, followed by D's Dinner Table 2, The Last Blade, and Two Heart. The commentary notes the strong anticipation, even hinting that a conversion decision for one of these games is expected next week. Screenshots and brief notes highlight games like The Last Blade and Vampire Savior 2 from this list, offering estimated conversion likelihoods. The page then shifts focus to the shop data, top 15 arcade video games, reflecting the hottest titles drawing crowds in arcades. The top spots are dominated by heavy hitters, like Virtua Fighter 3 TB, Virtua Striker 2, and Tekken 3. Other popular arcade games featured include Cyber Troopers Virtualon, The Last Blade, Street Fighter II Second Impact Giant Attack, and The House of the Dead. The text mentions 1998 as a significant year for arcades. Finally, a one-point check game section unveils the first screenshots for the highly anticipated SEGA Rally 2, detailing its status as a racing game running on the Model 3 board, and highlighting its visual quality and features inherited from the original. The page also shows images for Motor Raid, and behind enemy lines from the lower ranks of the arcade chart. The SEGA Saturn user data reveals the top 30 most anticipated new software releases. Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die leads the pack, showcasing its dramatic adventure gameplay. Eve the Lost One, a multi-site adventure game, secures second place, with development 40% complete. Super Robot Wars F, concluding chapter, the tactical RPG finale, takes third, at 60% completion. The King of Fighters 97, a popular fighting game conversion, is highlighted as a pickup check game, ranked 8th and 70% complete. The page also previews Waku Waku Puyo Puyo Dungeon and Sega Ages Phantasy Star Collection in an Other Check, Coming Soon section, with screenshots from respective versions. The rankings demonstrate considerable excitement for a diverse range of genres soon to be released on the Saturn. This page presents the weekly All-Soft Readers Check feature for SEGA Saturn, Volume 83. It's a community-driven ranking based on readers' votes for all SEGA Saturn software released to date, which currently totals 856 titles. The ranking table shows the top titles as voted by readers. Standing strong at number 1 is Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, and RPG. Following closely are X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Uno, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World in the second and third spots, respectively. Other top games include J. League, Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru 2, Marie no Atelier, Salberg no Renkinjutsushi, Culdcept, Dead or Alive, Thunder Force V, Lunar, Silver Star Story Complete, and Eve Burst Error. The top ranks appear quite stable in this first ranking of the new year. Commentary notes the strong showing at the top and mentions games like Daytona USA, Championship Circuit Edition, and Sonic LR as ones to watch for potential movement. Screenshots highlight the top-ranked Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, and Shining Force 2i Scenario 1, which ranks lower on the list but is a significant new release. The text at the bottom includes New Year's greetings and lighthearted conversation about the magazine's plans for the year, emphasizing the continuation of popular features. This week's All-Soft Readers Check feature spotlights new arrival favorites in the B section of the game ranking table. 3 highly anticipated games are highlighted. Atelier Marie, The Alchemist of Salberg, an RPG, is praised for its freedom, item gathering, and charming characters. Readers, 9.6021, Magazine, 8.0. Shining Force 2i Scenario 1, God Warrior of the Kingdom, a tactical RPG from Sega, impressed players with smooth gameplay and smart enemy AI, featuring varied missions. Readers, 9.3684, Magazine, 7.33. Princess Crown, an action RPG, offered a balance of accessible and hidden elements with strategic combat. Readers, 9.2542, Magazine, 7.66. Each game's spotlight includes screenshots. This SEGA Saturn Reader Race Update, Section C, highlights new releases and reader scores. Next King, Kingdom of the Thousand-Year Love, scores well despite mixed magazine reviews, praised for its battle mode. Konami's JIKU Powerful Pro Baseball S is popular for its characters and addictive success mode. Cotton 2 is praised for its rewarding gameplay. Galaxy Fraulein Yuna 3, Lightning Angel is noted as easy, and UQ no Kobako Official Collection disappoints. 2 games receive caution horse warnings. Aim for the World of Yasuhiko Okudera, Soccer Kids, Introductory Edition, is criticized for poor quality and price. Acclaim's Yellow Brick Road is heavily criticized for its insulting nature and extreme brevity. The page also continues the All-Soft Readers Check ranking table. This page continues the extensive All-Soft Readers Check ranking, presenting more data on reader scores for a wide variety of SEGA Saturn titles across different genres. A prominent section is the New Year Satamaga Check, which offers a humorous reflection on recent events in the rankings. The commentary revisits the heavily criticized game, Yellow Brick Road, referring to its main character as the yellow-faced iron ball, and questioning if it could even harm Lord Death, a playful nod to the game's abysmal performance and the reviewer's previous strong criticism. The section includes 2 screenshots. One shows the character resembling the Tin Man from Yellow Brick Road, illustrating the point. The other screenshot depicts characters battling dinosaurs, likely from a game like Lost World, Jurassic Park, which appears in the rankings, accompanied by text pondering if the new year will bring significant changes or improvements. Overall, the page mixes straightforward ranking data with lighthearted, self-referential commentary reflecting on the state of recent game releases. This page continues the reader feedback and rankings, focusing on upcoming and recently released SEGA Saturn titles. Featured prominently is information on Grandia, hyped as a major upcoming release, with readers eager to see how it ranks. The Voice of High-Class Owners section shares reader opinions, like one lamenting the sheer volume of new releases, or another discussing details in X-Men vs. Street Fighter. There's a ranking of SEGA Saturn peripherals based on reader scores, showing user satisfaction with various accessories. Reviews for specific games are presented, including Grandia itself, receiving a high average score of 9.0 from readers, with comments praising its story, graphics, and addictive gameplay, although some note its difficulty for those unused to RPGs. Arcana Strikes gets a 7.0 average, with criticism directed at its simple card battles and limited content, despite nice graphics. Vandal Hearts scores 7.66, described as an accessible simulation RPG, with a deep story and fantasy world that RPG fans should enjoy despite potentially simple graphics. The page also includes reader prediction games, where participants guess the initial ranking of new games like Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, second part, and the average score for games like Wizards Harmony 2, with winners receiving prizes. Finally, there's a call for participants in the reader race itself, and details on special presents offered this month, ranging from controller sets to software. This page features a New Year's article for 1998, titled The 1998, highlighting Sega's plans for the year. It prominently features Yoji Ishii, the head of Sega's CS Software Research and Development headquarters, discussing the future direction. He reflects on the Sega Saturn's journey, noting it has been 3 years since launch and is entering its 4th. Ishii mentions the console's initial 5-year plan, which included challenging new ideas and establishing core titles in the early years. He reviews some of the major releases from 1997, including hits like J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru, Sonic R, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Burning Ranger, and Sakura Wars 2. A core message is that 1998 requires a significant shift in thinking for game development. According to Ishii, the old ways will no longer suffice, and developers must stay ahead of user expectations. The key word for 1998 is declared as something new, emphasizing the need to create quality games that cater to both core fans and new players. The page includes screenshots from games like Sakura Wars and Sega Touring Car Championship. This page features an interview with Hideki Okamura, the director and head of Sega's Saturn business department, discussing the past year and the outlook for 1998. He reflects on 1997, stating that while the summer was a bit disappointing, overall the year was successful, giving it a score of around 70 points. He highlights the strength of the Saturn's software lineup, the positive reception of the Sega Shiro commercials, and strong year-end sales. Okamura emphasizes that the core strategy for 1998 remains the same, focusing on creating fun games. However, he stresses the importance of developing new categories and genres to expand the Saturn's reach. The key keyword for 1998 is new possibilities, aiming to develop software that fully utilizes the Saturn's capabilities and allows creators to express their individuality. The interview also touches on the status of porting high-end arcade titles, specifically mentioning the challenges of bringing Model 3 games like Virtua Fighter 3 to the Saturn hardware, acknowledging the difficulty but stating the commitment to porting arcade hits remains. Screenshots accompanying the article feature games like Sakura Wars 2, highlighting the upcoming release of this highly anticipated title, and images seemingly related to Virtua Fighter 3. Sega's first and second R&D departments, led by Shin Oshigaya and Norikazu Oheba, are discussed in this interview. Oshigaya's first R&D, responsible for titles like Panzer Dragoon Saga and sports games, aimed to maximize the Saturn's capabilities in 1998, continuing their work on RPGs and sports sims. They released titles in 1997 like Neon Genesis Evangelion Second Impression, Oriba's second R&D highlighted their focus on Sakura Wars 2 for a spring release. They also released Daytona USA, Championship Circuit Edition, and Hanagumi Tyson columns in 1997. Oba expressed interest in exploring diverse genres. Screenshots showcased games such as Panzer Dragoon Saga and Sakura Wars 2, illustrating the diverse output and the department's commitment to a successful 1998 for the Saturn. This page features interviews with the heads of Sega's third CSR&D and digital media production departments, offering insights into their plans for 1998. Yu Suzuki, head of the third CSR&D, talks about the past year with Project Sonic, which kicked off with Sonic R, and the development of Burning Ranger. He mentions the increased size of the Sonic team and hints at potential sequels for Sonic and Knights, emphasizing that the teams are driven by passion. Suzuki's key phrase for 1998 is "making works," aiming to create games that appeal to all ages worldwide, echoing the classic Sega game-making spirit. Yukifumi Makino discusses the role of the digital media production department, which focuses on sound and music. He highlights their shift towards producing sound for various projects, with Daytona USA Circuit Edition being a major undertaking, where they collaborated with artist Eric Martin. Makino talks about building a DM digital media brand, aiming for something distinct from the core Sega image. Not Sega, but Sega. He points to projects like the music for Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG, Panzer Dragoon Saga, and Sonic R as examples of successful collaborations. He also mentions working on sound libraries for Evangelion and the Sakura Wars radio show, indicating a broader scope beyond just game music. Their focus for 1998 is expanding these collaborative efforts. This page features an in-depth interview between Wataru Hiroshi from GTV and Masahiro Fukui from Admiral, discussing an intriguing new system called TDC that aims to pull players out of the game screen and into the real world. This system allows games to connect with players via telephone calls and messaging, extending the gameplay experience beyond the console itself. The discussion highlights the development of this TDC system, which was spurred by the concepts behind the games Synchronicity and Ruins. The idea is that characters or events from the game world can trigger calls or send messages to the player in reality, even when they aren't actively playing, effectively continuing the narrative or interaction. They touch on the technical aspects, mentioning the possibility of both online and offline connections, leveraging existing hardware like the SEGA Saturn modem. Fukui and Wataru also reflect on the changing media landscape and communication habits, noting the widespread adoption of mobile phones by young people and the social aspect of staying connected, drawing parallels to the popularity of features like trading in games such as Pokémon. The core concept is that while the medium of a phone call might be old, the feeling of interaction it provides is very real, and the TDC system seeks to harness this to create a new type of game content that could instantly connect players. This page continues the discussion with Wataru Hiroshi and Masahiro Fukui about the innovative TDC system. It delves into how this system leverages existing telephone networks to create a new form of interactive content, extending games and services beyond the console. The core idea is to provide personalized experiences by using voice data transmitted over phone lines. A diagram illustrates the concept, showing how a host system connects to various users, including game players, fan club members, and those using information services like horse racing or elderly care, labeled as Silver Care. Admiral is highlighted as a software developer contributing to this system, mentioning titles like Synchronicity and Ruins, in development for PlayStation and Sega Saturn respectively, which embody the principles of this connected gameplay. The discussion emphasizes the power of personalized interaction, suggesting that the system can bring game characters or idols to life on the other side of the phone, echoing the appeal of experiences like Dragon Quest or Purikura, which offer a unique, personal touch. The system aims to make use of widely available technology, like the telephone and PHS, personal handyphone system, rather than requiring new hardware, making it accessible. It's noted that Admiral plans to showcase this system, integrated with Ent's U system, at the Net and Com 98 exhibition in February 1998. This page features interviews with key figures from Enix and Hudson, discussing the state of the game industry in 1997 and their outlook for 1998. Yasuhiro Fukushima, president of Enix, reflects on 1997 as a stable year with solid hits like Final Fantasy V2 and Derby Stallion, but perhaps fewer massive million sellers compared to previous years. He believes that precisely because it's a stable period, it's time to take risks and venture into new territory in 1998. The key, he states, lies in strong planning to create new genres and innovative game concepts. He anticipates major hits in '98, mentioning sequels to successful series like Resident Evil 2 and the ongoing popularity of Pokémon. Hideo Takada, director of planning and publicity at Hudson, highlights hits from 1997 like Bomberman and Momotaro Railway. His focus for the future isn't just on selling games, but on offering new ways to play. He feels the industry has shifted too much towards adult-oriented titles, causing a counterattack from core game users who genuinely love playing. He stresses the need to provide quality titles that appeal to these true gamers, and discusses potential future hardware, like the N64 disk drive, as opportunities for new experiences. Both executives underscore the importance of innovation and understanding user needs for the coming year. This page features perspectives from Konami and Bandai on the gaming landscape of 1998. Konami's Kazumi Kitawe describes the market as having entered a stable, mature phase where only strong titles sell well. Konami plans to solidify their established series, such as sports games and RPGs like Suikoden and Vandal Hearts, while also introducing groundbreaking originals like Metal Gear Solid. They aim to develop games that delight players from the start, looking ahead to the next generation of hardware. Meanwhile, Bandai's Makoto Asanuma emphasizes a shift towards developing unique, original games. While acknowledging the success of character-based titles like their Mobile Suit Gundam series, Bandai is looking to create innovative experiences that stand out. Asanuma highlights Tamagotchi as an example of a different kind of interactive experience and expresses excitement about challenging the norm by developing compelling original software. Both companies recognize the need for strong planning and originality in a market that is no longer simply growing, but demanding high-quality, impactful titles. This page presents insights from two more companies on the state of the industry in 1998, Compile and NEC Interchannel. Masamitsu Nitani, president of Compile and creator of Puyopop, discusses the market maturing and the end of a major cycle. He stresses the need for games that sell consistently, like Puyopop, rather than just big one-off hits. Nitani notes that 1997 saw a focus on RPGs with long development times, but also the rise of simulation and social titles, like Tamagotchi and Pokémon. For 1998, he predicts a shift towards a new type of action game that blends genres like simulation and RPG elements. NEC Interchannel's Toshio Tabata offers a more patient view. He acknowledges the market slowdown in 1997, but sees it less as a recession and more as simply reaching its current scale. Tabata states their commitment to developing for the SEGA Saturn, even with new hardware on the horizon. Their key word for 1998 is a year without big changes, suggesting stability rather than stagnation, comparing the market to a theme park that evolves gradually without needing a complete overhaul. They believe having reliable entertainment options is key. This page delves into the perspectives of GameArts, Sting, and Treasure on the state of the game industry in 1998. GameArts president Yoichi Miyagi and development manager Kenji Miyagi believe it's a difficult era where only the real thing will survive due to widespread imitation. They stress the importance of creating genuinely fun games, fostering amateur talent, and note the transition towards 3D graphics and network communication, citing Diablo as a key example. They observe that the focus is shifting from hardware to specific software titles that players desire, illustrated by fans of games like Super Robot Wars, often owning the necessary console regardless of brand. A screenshot from their acclaimed RPG, Grandia, is prominently displayed. Brief sections also highlight Sting, mentioning their upcoming RPG Baroque for Saturn, and Treasure, known for action titles like Silhouette Mirage. Both companies offer their key outlooks for the year. Sting sees 1998 as the year of Baroque, while Treasure predicts an era of industry reorganization through consolidation, stating it will be a year of battle, where only creators of quality software will endure. The page concludes by emphasizing the need to nurture the next generation of creators, urging them to combine creativity with technical and organizational skills in this challenging environment. Akira Yamashita of Bento staff reflects on the 1997 gaming year, noting the maturity of the 32-bit era, exemplified by titles like Final Fantasy VII. However, he observed fewer truly innovative games compared to 1996's hits. He analyzed each console's performance. PlayStation faced a tougher market despite fostering creative freedom, with SEGA controlling software pricing. Nintendo 64 saw steady growth, aiming to expand the market. The SEGA Saturn struggled, partly due to key titles appearing elsewhere, though it had strong releases. Looking to 1998, Yamashita anticipates a reset with the next generation, potentially 128-bit. He hopes for backward compatibility. Ultimately, he emphasizes the positive impact of games and the importance of media in supporting creators and educating players to foster the industry's growth. This page features Masakazu Hirabayashi, reflecting on the state of the game industry looking towards 1998. He notes that while 1997 had hits like Final Fantasy V2, Purikura, and Tamagotchi, these were all released in 1996, suggesting a lack of truly impactful new titles in 97. He believes the industry is at a significant turning point, needing to move beyond traditional TV game concepts and perhaps asking fundamental questions like, what is a game? He observes consoles like the Saturn, PlayStation, and Nintendo 64, suggesting they've become somewhat segmented, catering to established fanbases rather than broad expansion, despite marketing efforts like the Sega Shiro and Surfing Pikachu campaigns. He sees hints of the future in network connectivity ideas, referencing discussions around the Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Link. Hirabayashi's keyword for 1998 is challenging the network. He points out the current internet isn't suitable for games, being complex and not profitable. For network gaming to take off, it must be accessible to children, use home TVs, and be profitable. He briefly touches on past console dynamics, noting how the shift to 3D CG favored PlayStation over Saturn despite Saturn's capabilities, and mentions Dural from Virtua Fighter in this context, perhaps hinting at future technology or strategy. He feels game magazines also need to change and become more dynamic. This page announces that the highly anticipated Sega Rally 2 is finally in motion and set for an arcade release this spring, powered by Sega's Model 3 hardware. The article reveals the first screenshots of the game, highlighting a significant power-up from the original. Despite being in development, the game is already showing promising quality, with the basic handling and feel largely inherited from its acclaimed predecessor. The article notes that even at 30% or 40% completion in different aspects, the visuals and gameplay are impressive, building high expectations for the final version. Expected features like a side brake and new screen elements are mentioned. The reviewer expresses excitement, noting that the wait for the finished product is well worth it, and promising continued coverage in future issues. The screenshots showcase various environments and the classic Subaru Impreza car model. This page provides a detailed check of the 40% complete version of the upcoming arcade title, Sega Rally 2. It delves into the game's content, starting with the cars. The Subaru Impreza is confirmed, and the article suggests other popular rally cars like the Lancer and Corolla, plus the Stratos from the Saturn version, could appear. The director hints at a mix of default and hidden vehicles. Next, it examines the courses. While the screenshots shown are temporary, the structure will follow the previous game with beginner, intermediate, and advanced difficulties, possibly adding a super advanced tier. Features like night courses are also mentioned, promising variety. A column provides impressions, noting that even at this stage, the game surpasses the original in completion and quality. The car handling is described as perfect, and the reviewer hopes for detailed terrain like mud and dramatic crash effects. Finally, Sega AM producer Jun Taniguchi shares his thoughts, stating the game's main appeal is something that will make everyone crazy. He highlights features like the realistic steering feel, motion cabinet, sound, and BGM, emphasizing the dedication put into this game, suggesting they've poured everything into it, leaving no room for a third installment. The page concludes with screenshots of 3 temporary courses, desert, forest, and mountain, showcasing various gameplay views. This article previews Panzer Dragoon Saga, focusing on the town of Zoa and its role in the game's narrative. It recaps Edge's journey, from surviving an attack to forming a bond with a dragon and arriving in Zoa after a challenging desert trek. Zoa holds key secrets, including airship parts found in Shellkoof and the mysterious Guardian Fire in a surrounding forest, hinting at old-world technology. Players are urged to revisit Packet, an old-world enthusiast, who may hold crucial information about the tower. The article highlights locations like Zoa, the desert, and Shelkuf, featuring screenshots of character interactions. Zoa is positioned as a critical location, especially for new players, offering a deep dive into the game's mysteries, which are tied to the Craymen fleet and the secrets of the old world. The game, set for release on January 29th, promises a comprehensive experience. Panzer Dragoon Saga's narrative is enriched through collectible books and documents. These items reveal crucial information about the world's history, cultures, and characters. Examples include the Bible, Zoa Bible, Ship Report, and Dragon Rider's Diary, which provide context for newcomers. The story continues with Edge's exploration of Georgius, revisiting the tower, part of Shelkuf, and discovering a mysterious hole. He enters alone, leading to unseen events. Next, Edge confronts the Guardian Dragon, a powerful foe. Finally, Edge infiltrates Shelkuf through the hole. Separated from his dragon, he faces Imperial soldiers and aircraft, fighting for survival in a vulnerable state. This page delves into the lives of the people inhabiting the world of Panzer Dragoon Saga, focusing on the importance of interacting with non-player characters. Unlike typical RPGs where NPCs are just information providers, in Panzer Dragoon Saga, each character has a detailed backstory, making them feel like real individuals. Engaging with them provides a deeper understanding of the game's world and lore, which is considered a major appeal, even though it's possible to complete the game without extensive interaction. The page highlights that conversation is crucial. While initial encounters might be reserved, repeated dialogue allows Edge to connect with people and learn about their lives and the world. The game features extensive, fully voiced dialogue, adding to the immersion. The most popular character mentioned is Loda, a young girl in Zoa's sanctuary, noted for her charming voice acting. Characters are described as being diverse, each with their own personality. Some are friendly from the start, while others are more withdrawn. The page stresses that some characters are also very important to the story, providing vital information, so don't dismiss them as minor roles. Examples given include Jerba, the talkative bar owner who holds surprising knowledge about political movements, Badget, who has impressive technical knowledge related to ancient artifacts, and Bezel, a boy who is difficult to find but part of the world's fabric. The page includes several screenshots, showcasing some of these unique individuals within the game world. This page spotlights key supporting characters in Panzer Dragoon Saga, focusing on those who influence Edge. The captain and Lua, Edge's adoptive family, are highlighted. The captain's diary reveals profound paternal feelings. The caravan members, including shopkeeper Baika, mechanic Ku, and Strong Fei, along with leaders Enyu and Enkaku, are also introduced. In Zoa, Radgam, a veteran hunter, and Yael, a survivor working in a bar, add depth to the narrative. Raoul, the caravan's craftsman, is also mentioned. Each character introduction includes art and screenshots, emphasizing the depth of the NPCs and their integral role in the game's world. The page reinforces the importance of player interaction and hints at future exploration of gameplay mechanics. This page focuses on the upcoming release of the game Mashi, a sound novel. It highlights 2 of the 8 main characters whose stories intertwine within the game's narrative, which is set in Shibuya. Featured here are Yuhei Tobisawa, described as the calculating idol of the school, and Ryuji Takamine, an easily hurt mercenary from the French Foreign Legion, returning to Japan after 3 years. The page provides a glimpse into their backgrounds and what players can expect in the game, particularly focusing on a demo version. There's a section offering tips for clearing the demo, noting that focusing on Ryuji's story is easier than Yuhei's, and emphasizing specific choices to reach the good ending in the demo, while also mentioning bad endings are possible. The large headline announces that the game is just 2 weeks away from release, and looks back at the 8 protagonists players will encounter. A special report box confirms the developer is Chunsoft, lists the release date as January 22nd, the price, and that it's a 2-disc sound novel. The page effectively builds anticipation for the full game by introducing 2 of the key players and giving a taste of the gameplay through demo tips. This page continues the coverage of the highly anticipated sound novel Mashai, which is just 2 weeks away from release. Featured here are 2 more of the game's interconnected protagonists. We meet Masashi Shinoda, described as a fairly typical, slightly introverted university student. His story snippet details a night where he's heading to the station to buy sleeping pills. We also see Fumiaki Ichikawa, a scriptwriter who finds social interaction difficult. His narrative excerpt describes staying up all night for work and going to the station. The page also offers insights into the Machi demo version. The demo version points section explains that while initial choices in walking direction or behavior don't heavily influence the story, later choices become more significant. It highlights specific sequences within the demo, noting how to navigate certain sections, and that some minor choices exist but generally don't lead to big changes. Finally, a reactions to the demo version part 3 section shares feedback from players. People are excited for the game, praising the depth and content experienced in the demo, the volume of story and tips, and the overall production quality. Players specifically enjoyed the zap/tip system, finding it clever and interesting, and commented on the readability of the text. One player mentioned becoming a fan of the Wednesday character. The reactions clearly show high anticipation for the full release, with players eager to continue the story. This page introduces 2 more key characters from the highly anticipated sound novel, Machi. First up is Mikako Hosoi, the rumor-mongering diet girl, known for her big appetite and endearing awkwardness. Her section includes a brief scene highlighting her eating habits. We also meet Keima Amemiya, the cool, interesting detective, a gamer and otaku working in Shibuya, characterized by his strong, sometimes impulsive conclusions about cases. His story snippet shows him patrolling Shibuya when something catches his attention. The trial version points section continues, explaining how different choices in the demo can lead to various outcomes, including bad ends. It notes specific points in scenarios like Masashi Shinoda's, where incorrect choices result in a bad end, and warns that talking to the matcher's girls group also leads to an immediate bad end. Finally, reactions to the trial version part 4 provides more player feedback. Fans are still raving about the demo, praising the immersive sound novel experience, the innovative zapping system, and the overall depth of the story and characters. Players express strong anticipation for the full release, appreciating the game's unique approach and engaging content. This page continues introducing key figures from the upcoming sound novel, Machi. We meet Ushio Masami, described as a sad man stained by the Yakuza, after leaving that life behind 6 months prior. His personality is portrayed as straightforward, despite his background. The page also features Meibe Jintaro, characterized as a kind, pathetic man, and a veteran actor with 17 years of experience, whose clumsiness makes him unable to shake his usual roles. The trial version points section offers more advice for navigating the Machi demo, detailing crucial choice points that can lead to bad endings, particularly within the Masashi Shinoda scenario. It warns players about choices involving the matcher's girl group, which result in an immediate bad end. Finally, the page announces a fun contest, a joint project between SEGA Saturn Magazine and Chunsoft, calling for submissions of 4-panel manga likenesses of Machi characters. The judges include Chunsoft founder Koichi Nakamura and other staff, and prizes include a special Machi watch and director-signed phone cards. The page shows some example manga panels showcasing the game's characters in humorous situations. This page presents a full report on the production announcement event for the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, Code R, held on December 19th. This unique game, developed by Quintet and published by Especially, is a racing adventure that brilliantly merges adventure and racing game genres. It's scheduled for release in April. The report covers the details revealed at the event, including confirmation that the game is a one-player experience. Attendees were able to test a beta version, experiencing the new race mode, and the high-quality sound made possible by ADX technology, developed by Cry. The page features a photo from the event itself, showing key figures from the companies involved, including the presidents of Quintet, and especially the head of the SEGA Saturn Software Promotion Division, and Quintet's development manager. There's also a promotional image of a character featured on a phone card. Speaking of which, the page also announces a contest to win one of these special phone cards distributed at the event. This page provides a deeper look into the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, Code EAR. Following the recent production announcement, it's described as a unique fusion of racing and adventure genres, weaving a narrative where your actions impact the story progression. The adventure part lets you explore a map, interact with characters, and tune your car. Time passes within this mode, influencing available locations and triggering events, including those tied to character relationships. You can even take on part-time jobs to earn money for car upgrades, adding simulation elements to the mix. In the race part, your goal is to become the fastest racer and challenge rivals. It features both practice runs and one-on-one battles. Success isn't just about pure speed. Techniques like cornering are highlighted as key elements that contribute to your fame. The replay mode offers a dramatic and immersive experience, going beyond typical race replays. You can watch from various perspectives, with dynamic graphic cut-ins and lively crowd cheers and rival reactions during intense moments, making the races feel even more exciting. The page also reveals details about a trial version distribution planned nationwide at SO service stations. Additionally, there's a call for submissions for gallery voices to be used in the replay mode, inviting fans to record crowd reactions by a deadline of January 30th, 1998. The page is filled with screenshots showcasing the game's different modes and character interactions. This page previews the upcoming SEGA Saturn RPG Baroque. It highlights the game's development progress, stating a high 80% completion rate, and announces a major pre-release campaign starting January 17th, centered around a special publication called The Baroque Report. The report, distributed in 3 volumes, is described as a vital source of information for fans. Volume 1 was available for free distribution at game stores. Volume 2 could be obtained by submitting a questionnaire postcard included with the game or bringing it to the Baroque booth at a game show event. Volume 3 was planned for later distribution to those who had acquired both Volume 1 and Volume 2. The page emphasizes that these reports contain unreleased information not available in standard magazines, including details about the developer Sting's unique development approach and user participation content. It portrays the report as a must-have item for dedicated fans looking for deeper insights into this mysterious and intriguing RPG world before its release. The reports themselves are shown visually, hinting at their folded, multi-page format. This page delves into the Baroque Report per Candela data file, a special Crydrom follow-up to the initial paper report, designed to give fans an in-depth look at the mysterious world of Baroque before release. Accessible via a main menu, the CD contains a wealth of preview content. Players can view 4 distinct movies, including the game's opening, theatrical trailers, and promotional videos for professionals, offering different perspectives on the game's visuals. The report also features detailed sections on the game's unique enemies, referred to as variants, showcasing both 3D models that can be freely rotated and illustrations, including some previously unreleased designs. The CD provides a look at the game's central location, the Nerve Tower, through illustrations of its exterior and interior, along with actual in-game footage. Character enthusiasts can examine beautifully rendered illustrations of the 5 main characters, such as the protagonist and Alice. Beyond game content, the report includes promotional materials like postcards and keychains, plus fully recorded radio commercials. It also features the staff credits for the main game and striking photos of physical sculptures of characters and variants created by a notable sculptor, giving a tangible sense of the game's artistic design. The report also highlights the game's use of CreateADX audio technology, promising high-quality sound. Obtaining this CD is noted as limited, requiring a postcard from the first report volume, making it a valuable collector's item for dedicated fans seeking deeper insights into Baroque's unique world. This text details 2 dangerous enemies. Variants. Within a Baroque setting, Rhea, a human-plant hybrid, attacks with whip-like arms, attack pattern 1, and releases a powder that hallucinates enemies as beautiful women, attack pattern 2. Ares, appearing noble, wields a transforming claw, attack pattern 1, and spews poisonous smoke from a neck opening in a second phase, attack pattern 2, after shedding its facade. The page also hints at a central theme of transformation or metamorphosis, emphasized by the kanji black and becoming new, possibly reflecting the enemy's changes or the protagonist's journey. The next page introduces 2 more unsettling inhabitants of the Nerve Tower. First, we have Shinmonis, a peculiar creature with a fleshy, bulbous body perched atop slender legs, found on the upper floors. Its primary danger lies in its ability to drain the protagonist's vitality using its long mouth, leading to significant HP loss. Further down is information on Johanna Kion, also referred to as 4 Shadows. This refers to a pair of figures, appearing like cloaked monks bound together, noticeable for the machinery on their backs. They have 2 main attack patterns shown: a direct and surprisingly powerful body slam, and a strange action involving swaying and emitting amplified noises via their machinery, the effect of which is not yet certain. They have also been observed launching pillars of fire, adding to their unpredictable nature. These entities continue the trend of encountering diverse and dangerous variants within the tower. The next page delves deeper into the world of Chaos Seed, specifically focusing on the Cave Hermit Training Parallel World arc. It explains the game's core premise, where the protagonist, after training, is sent to a different parallel world that closely resembles the original, but with key differences. The goal is to find a way back to the original world. The page illustrates this concept with a diagram showing the original world as scenarios 12, leading to the parallel world, encompassing scenarios 3 and beyond. It notes that while the original world progresses through time, the parallel worlds represent different paths or possibilities that don't necessarily advance time at the same rate. Characters encountered in this parallel world are introduced, including the Master, who doesn't recognize the protagonist, and a mysterious egg that requires warmth to hatch, guarded by a being named Kana. Another key figure is Daisojo from the parallel world's Bukuro Temple, who is normally peaceful but wary of cave hermits, and tasks the protagonist with recovering a stolen sealing orb. Screenshots show gameplay in different areas, character portraits during dialogue, and the visual style of the game. A small box provides key information, listing Neverland Company as the developer, the genre as dungeon training simulation, and confirming it's a single-player experience. The page details 2 parallel worlds in Chaos Seed. Fear of the Man of Ki features Wang Solgen, a powerful ruler with past life memories, who defeated the protagonist's master. A battle ensues, involving Sojin Shiro and Komyo Ko. Tree of the Great Earth centers on Reiren, a greedy ghost-summoning artist, and a weakened land needing revival. The master suggests this might lead back to the original world. A girl from the original world, initially unrecognized by the protagonist, appears, leading to them building a dwelling together. Reiren is hired by this girl. The girl from the original world joins the protagonist's party, offering battle support. Reiren, previously an enemy in Immortal Beast Egg, reappears in this world as well. This page continues the deep dive into the parallel worlds of Chaos Seed, following directly from the previous page with Parallel World Part 4, Gate of Sealing. It explores the lore of the Room Gods and the mysterious land of Sealing, showing in-game screenshots depicting the protagonist's journey and encounters within these areas, including an image of a large, demonic-looking creature. The bulk of the page is dedicated to Chaos Seed fan creations, showcasing fantastic fan art from dedicated players. These submissions feature various characters from the game, rendered in different styles, reflecting the community's passion. The page also includes the results of a giveaway, listing numerous winners for prizes like signed books and posters, acknowledging the fans who contributed artwork, questionnaires, and other content. An address is provided for fans to send their submissions and mail. It's clear the developers fostered a strong connection with their player base through these features. This page features a humorous comic strip titled Nisa Dosen Nikki Zen by Akari Funado, continuing the discussion around Chaos Seed. It follows the game's protagonist and other characters as they react to various elements, including their placement, or lack thereof, in popularity rankings, and the protagonist's lack of voice acting in the main game, despite having lines on a bonus CD. The comic also pokes fun at ambitious sales targets with a aim for 1 million copies plan, and humorously suggests extreme plot points for commercial success, such as the master regaining youth, adding a handsome evil rival, and the heroine dying, much to the player character's dismay. It offers a lighthearted, meta-commentary on game development and fan expectations, ending on a cliffhanger about the heroine's fate. Chaos Seed, Solo Crisis in Japan, is a game where the player, as a deity, must save the inner world, a corrupted realm inhabited by humans possessed by demons. The gameplay focuses on 2 key areas: the story and the miracles system. The story involves a world split between a pristine outer world and a chaotic inner world. Players will use miracles to manipulate the inner world's environment. These powers include terraforming, weather control, and destructive events like earthquakes. Screenshots showcase the contrasting visuals of the 2 worlds and the impact of the miracles. Finally, the game features a monster language unique to the inner world inhabitants. The outer world attempts to decipher this language through a dictionary, potentially adding a communication-based gameplay element. The game offers a blend of simulation, strategy, and world building. This page continues the detailed look at Solo Crisis, focusing on its strategic depth and character progression systems. Titled Divine Tactics, it highlights attraction number 5, emphasizing that battles should be splendid and beautiful, avoiding chaotic brawls and minimizing the loss of followers. A key aspect of winning beautifully involves understanding enemy strategy, possibly through deciphering the monster language discussed previously, and reducing the enemy shrine's power. One specific strategy detailed is the direct-to-the-shrine tactic. This involves moving your followers near the enemy's sacred site, using a miracle to create an opening or distraction, and then sending your leaders through the gap to attack the objective directly. Screenshots illustrate the effect of miracles shaping the battlefield and enabling this targeted assault. The page also presents attraction number 4, Class Change. After clearing each map, you can promote one of your followers to a stronger class. Each character has a specific progression path, and the choice of who to change and along which branch significantly influences your strategic options later in the game. This system offers a meaningful layer of customization and replayability. The overall message reinforces that smart planning and quick decisive action are vital to mastering the game. Devil's Tactics in Solo Crisis focuses on understanding enemy strategies for victory. The page explores tactical scenarios across various stages. Stage 1 emphasizes shrine defense against the Demon King's frontal assault and utilizing the backside for SP gain, although structures there may be expendable. Stage 2 highlights defending against enemy backside attacks with higher level, more resilient structures. Stage 3 introduces a warp gate, a critical point of conflict. It also showcases deceptive enemy tactics involving luring forces away to expose the shrine's back, stressing the need to anticipate and counter these maneuvers. The overall lesson is the importance of strategic front and backside coordination and recognizing enemy strategies to succeed in Solo Crisis. This page continues the discussion on Devil's Tactics in Solo Crisis, providing more insights into the enemy's strategic approaches. It highlights several cunning maneuvers. One tactic involves monsters fighting relentlessly, even with low HP, seemingly sacrificing themselves as part of a larger plan involving deployment from the backside. Another strategy uses the environment, specifically targeting humans in swampy or waterside areas with devastating drowning attacks, emphasizing the crucial need for SP management to perform rescues. The game also features attacks aimed at the core of the player's power. Buildings, which are the source of SP earthquakes, are employed to destroy these structures. While ideally you'd build everywhere to counter this, environmental factors like trees and water make it difficult, stressing the importance of hindering the opponent's ability to accumulate SP. Finally, a particularly dangerous tactic involves the enemy focusing intensely on the player's leader, referred to here as the Human King. The page illustrates a deceptive trap where the enemy intentionally lures the leader towards the backside, leading to a sudden, critical confrontation and a desperate situation. The accompanying column offers a brief, friendly note about manipulating God's servants in this tactical simulation, mentioning that some monsters can even revert to human form or become allies. This page is dedicated to the SEGA Saturn title, Kindaichi Shonen no Jikenbo, the Kindaichi Case Files, an adventure game. The large illustration features the main cast, including Hajime Kindaichi, Miyuki Nanase, and other prominent characters from the series like Inspector Akechi. The big news highlighted here is the revelation of a third, previously hidden scenario for the game, titled The Star-Seeing Island, Revenge Demon of Sorrow. While previous reports only covered 2 scenarios, it's now confirmed that a third one exists, and crucially, Kindaichi himself is the protagonist of this newly revealed case. A small screenshot shows a character portrait and a quote, likely from the game. The article confirms the game's release date as January 15, 1998, priced at 5,800 yen, and notes it's recommended for all ages. This reveal builds excitement by promising more mysterious cases for players to solve with Kindaichi. The next page focuses entirely on the exciting reveal of the third scenario for the Sega Saturn game Kindaichi Shonen no Jikenbo. As expected, it's confirmed that the protagonist for this bonus scenario, titled The Star-Seeing Island, Revenge Demon, is none other than Hajime Kindaichi himself. This is a significant departure from the first 2 scenarios, where other characters took the lead. However, the article clarifies that this third scenario is a bonus, not a full mystery game. It's described as a simple, text-only experience, without sound or complex puzzle solving, primarily focused on reading the narrative and witnessing Kindaichi's actions and reactions, much like the source material. The page then details the crucial unlock condition. Players must achieve the complete ending for both primary characters from the first two scenarios, Naoki Kashiwagi and Takuya Asagiri. This is no easy feat, as the game boasts over 80 bad endings, making finding the true paths quite challenging. The recommended approach for this scenario is unique. Players should view Kindaichi as an obstacle and strategically pursue their revenge goal while avoiding his detective work. A screenshot shows a character portrait, and the save data display clearly indicates the complete status required for both previous protagonists to access this hidden content. This page is vital for any player looking to uncover the full scope of the game and experience Kindaichi from a different perspective. This page delves deeper into the setting for the Kindaichi Shonen no Jikenbo. Third scenario. The Star-Seeing Island, Revenge Demon. It highlights Star-Seeing Island as a small, isolated island near the Ogasawara Islands, boasting untouched natural beauty. The page includes an overhead illustration of the island and a small map detailing key locations like the port, clubhouse, suspension bridge, cliff, and lighthouse. The focus then shifts to the island's central mystery, the legendary treasure. The text poses the question, what kind of treasure is there? And discusses a persistent rumor about a treasure hidden on the island, tied to a strange legend about seeing stars during the day. While the treasure's existence is hinted at, the article speculates on its true nature, suggesting it's not just typical buried gold. The treasure legend is described as a something that can change the fate of ordinary people. Screenshots illustrate key moments related to this treasure hunt. One shows a character, Kenmochi, questioning a pendant, suggesting it's a potential clue. Another depicts an interior scene, emphasizing that certain characters were explicitly targeting this treasure. The page reinforces that the island's treasure legend plays a significant role in Kindaichi's scenario, driving the plot forward. This page focuses on the core mystery and characters of the Kindaichi Shonen no Jikenbo third scenario, the Star-Seeing Island, Revenge Demon. It delves into the Asagiri family, whose bloodline is tied to the island and its legendary treasure. We meet Takuya Asagiri, an island native, and Go Asagiri, his stepfather, who married into the family and is obsessed with finding the treasure, potentially even behind the island's resort development seen on the previous page. The article highlights how the pursuit of wealth drives various characters, some willing to commit murder, connecting their actions to the island's treasure legend. A screenshot shows Takuya questioning his mother's potential involvement, blinded by the treasure. The page breaks down the treasure mystery using 4 keywords: legend, time, referencing an island counting song hinting at clues, treasure hunters, and the pendant. The pendant, given by Takuya to his fiancée Yu Tachibana, is revealed as a crucial item, believed to hold the treasure's location. Screenshots show Takuya examining the pendant, and Yu mentioning it has changed, implying its significance. The pendant's connection to Yu's tragic death fuels Takuya's desire for revenge against the killer. Finally, the page hints at another key element, the magic mirror, with a line from Kindaichi's rival, Akechi Kengo, suggesting his involvement in unraveling the island's secrets. This page introduces the SEGA Saturn title, Dream Generation, a unique love simulation game that integrates job selection elements. The feature showcases 3 key female characters, Serena, Shizuo, and Rina, presenting their glamorous appearances, specifically highlighted as New Year's themed for this preview. The page provides essential details about the game, noting its genre as a love and job selection, SLG. It confirms the game is being developed by Messiah and is scheduled for a March release with a price of 6,300 yen. The report indicates the game is currently 70% complete and is recommended for all ages. Screenshots or illustrations of the characters are prominently displayed alongside their names. This page continues the preview of the SEGA Saturn title, Dream Generation, a unique love and job selection SLG. It delves into the game's premise, where the protagonist graduates high school, reconnects with former classmates at a year-later reunion, meets attractive girls, and promises to see them again in a year, with the game starting the next day. The core gameplay loop is detailed. Weekdays are for setting a schedule involving work, studying, or rest. Saturdays are dedicated to exploring the map, to find encounters with girls and gather information. Sundays are reserved for dates. Players manage various stats, including health, stamina, money, conversation skills, and more, as shown in a screenshot of the in-game interface. The page emphasizes that steady leveling up in both love and work is key to success. The preview also introduces 2 additional significant characters available for dating, Kyoko and Yukiko, each presented with striking character illustrations. The overall presentation highlights the game's blend of life simulation, character development, and dating elements. This page dives into the world of Himitsu Sentai Metamor V, an upcoming adventure title slated for an April '98 release from Mainichi Communications. Priced at 5,800 yen, this game plunges players into an anime-style adventure where 5 girls transform into cosmic detectives to battle alien invaders. A standout feature is the A-less empathy system. Unlike typical adventure games with simple choices, A-less allows players to select the protagonist's emotions in response to situations. This dynamic system aims to create a smooth, anime-like narrative progression, where the story unfolds based on how you feel. As the leader, Metamor Red, Shinsaki Megumi, your actions are crucial. The game emphasizes the importance of choosing responses that befit a leader, as this directly impacts the trust levels of your teammates. Making poor choices can lead to mistrust and unfavorable outcomes in battle. The magazine shows examples of using the A-less system, demonstrating how choosing different emotions like calm, confident, or timid alters the protagonist's reaction and potentially the course of the story. Screenshots illustrate character interactions and the visual indicator that signals an A-less moment. This page continues the look at Himitsu Sentai Metamor V, revealing more details about the characters and gameplay systems. We meet key figures like Superintendent Iwao Daimonji, a space detective, and learn that Metamor Yellow is the transformed version of the quiet Moeko. The battle system is an RPG-style affair, where the heroine's strength is tied to their allies' trust and synthesized special moves. A crucial element is keyword synthesis, which happens during a pre-battle strategy time. Players gather keywords during the story and combine them to create powerful attacks. Although the heroes can't lose, the game encourages swift victories to earn a better evaluation from the superintendent, which influences the game's ending. We're also introduced to some of the alien antagonists, including Baron Dandy, a mecha nobleman appearing early in the game, and the enigmatic Emperor, Adonis. This space nobleman is presented as the mastermind behind the invasion of Earth, though his true nature is still a mystery. Another character, Grams, is also shown. The page stresses that mastering the various special moves created through keyword synthesis is key to success. This page is dedicated to a preview of the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, Professional Baseball Team Management, known as Yakyuu Tsuku in Japan. It highlights that this year is the year for building your own baseball team. The feature showcases key gameplay elements, including player stats like stamina, hitting, contact and power, fielding, and running, indicated by graphical bars and skill grades. It also touches upon player development events, such as the return of player Hideki Matsui from overseas training. The graphics also depict training and management aspects through icons representing strength training, fielding practice, batting practice, finances, and recovery. The article serves as the first look at the game for the new year, introducing some of the events players will encounter. It notes that while unexpected happenings are part of the game, players shouldn't be overly optimistic about everything going smoothly, acknowledging the mix of good and bad experiences. The page confirms that the game is a sports training simulation developed by SEGA, scheduled for release in February 1998. It features password-based versus play and is recommended for all ages. The game is officially licensed by the Nippon Professional Baseball Organization and includes all 12 NPB teams of the era, with some team names listed at the bottom of the page. A special report stamp indicates the preview covers a near-complete version, stated as 90% finished. This page breaks down the annual schedule you'll experience while managing your team in professional baseball team management. Starting in January with preparations, March sees the opening of the exhibition games, where you finalize your team after the draft, trades, and training camps. April kicks off the long, grueling pennant race, the main season where your team competes for victory over roughly half a year. The season pauses in July for the All-Star Game, a midpoint where top players gather and offer a moment to gauge your team's popularity and skill. However, this page warns of a critical point. If your team doesn't meet performance targets by the July All-Star break, you face a team management crisis, potentially leading to a game over. Following the All-Star break, the pennant race concludes, leading into October, where the league champions clash in the Japan Series to determine the ultimate Japan #1 team in a short, intense series. Beyond the main season events, the page also highlights the draft in the off-season, a key event for acquiring new talent, even featuring the nostalgic voice of Punch Itu Higashi calling out the names. Screenshots illustrate the opening ceremonies for the exhibition games, pennant race, All-Star Game, and Japan Series, giving a glimpse of the stadium atmosphere for each major event. This page delves deeper into the dynamic events players can encounter while managing their team in professional baseball team management. Beyond the scheduled games and drafts, unexpected incidents can occur. One key area highlighted is player condition. Neglecting a player's fatigue can lead to serious injuries, keeping them out of the lineup in practice, causing their abilities to decline. The game emphasizes the importance of checking player fatigue regularly and providing rest to prevent this. However, not all player events are negative. The page also discusses the possibility of sending players overseas for training. This is presented as a way to significantly improve a player's skills, though it means they will be unavailable for a period. The decision rests with the owner to determine which players are suitable for this developmental opportunity. The Baseball Tsuku Theater section showcases specific in-game moments. One example illustrates the strategic use of a bunt, a play that may seem simple but is crucial for advancing runners and executing situational baseball. Another highlight is the thrill of a home run, depicting the excitement of a powerful hit leaving the park and the crowd's reaction. These examples show the variety of plays and strategic depth the game offers. This page continues exploring the various events that can significantly impact your baseball team's management in professional baseball team management. Beyond standard games and practices, you'll encounter unexpected situations, many tied to finances and broader circumstances. One event marks your longevity as an owner, celebrating the 10th anniversary of taking the helm with a special ceremony and recognition from your secretary. Another key area for income is utilizing your stadium for multi-purpose events outside of baseball season. Renting it out can provide a significant boost to your finances. The game also factors in the real-world economy. Economic conditions can fluctuate between boom and recession, directly affecting things like merchandise sales and overall team revenue. Navigating these economic waves is crucial for success. However, not all financial events are positive. The possibility of seeking external financing exists, but beware. Trusting the wrong person can lead to a tragedy of financing, where you lose money. These events are presented as risky gambles with high stakes. Finally, the page touches on less critical but noteworthy events, like your secretary taking time off during major holidays, such as Golden Week or summer break. While a different secretary might fill in, it highlights the variety of occurrences you'll manage. These diverse events add depth and unpredictability to the team management simulation. This page delves into the surreal world of the game Baroque, presenting a narrative, synopsis, and continuation. The top portion of the page features abstract, organic artwork, while the lower part shows a figure with large wings, likely a character central to the story, standing amidst a somber scene. The accompanying text, presented as a synopsis of the previous installment, recounts the protagonist's involvement in strange events, focusing on a mysterious, sensory sphere. It mentions receiving an unusual disc and seeking help from someone associated with Baroque House, or a person named Kanazawa Kitsune, to analyze it. The narrative highlights unsettling occurrences, including the appearance of monsters described as transforming from humans, bizarre earthquakes, and interactions with a girl named Ruby who seems connected to these entities. The narrative continues the unsettling story, setting the stage for further events. This page clearly serves to immerse readers in the dark and enigmatic atmosphere characteristic of Baroque, a unique roguelike RPG developed by Sting and published by Especially. The narrative ends with, "To be continued," promising more of the bizarre tale. This page continues the unfolding narrative of the surreal RPG, Baroque, from Sting, titled Baroque Syndrome, and specifically Baroque Before History Volume 8. It picks up immediately after the events of the previous installment. The text begins with the evocative line, "Angel, you see," setting a mysterious tone. The story describes the protagonist and Ruby being saved by the grotesque extermination squad after a dangerous encounter. The narrative delves into their subsequent interactions, featuring dialogue with Kanazawa Kitsune once more, discussing the bizarre nature of the creatures encountered, and the enigmatic concept of Baroque. The dialogue highlights the characters' attempts to understand the strange world they inhabit, and the role of figures like Kanazawa Kitsune in it. A section titled Baroque Before History provides further context for the game's world, explaining that the narrative presented here is from the perspective of the narrator, offering insights into the events leading up to the game's release in March 1998. It emphasizes the chaotic state of the world with unexplained phenomena and the core mystery of Baroque itself. This page provides an update on the Sakura Wars OVA series, specifically focusing on the second episode titled Sakura Taisen Kageki Dan OVA Second Act, Sakura Housen Yoshinkin. It highlights the continued success of the OVA and offers a sneak peek into the second installment, which was nearing release at the time. The page presents a synopsis for the episode, set in the Taisho era. It explains how characters like Maria Tachibana, Iris Chateaubriand, Kuranri, and Kana Kirishima are introduced and, along with Ichiro Ugami, become the Imperial Combat Review's Flower Division. The story delves into their early struggles against the mysterious Kuma demons and explores Ugami's concerns and the characters' emotional states. Further details on the second act's story are provided, focusing on Sakura Shinguji's intensive training to master a powerful sword technique before heading to the capital. Meanwhile, the other Flower Division members are shown practicing their performance skills. The narrative also introduces Ayame Fujieda searching for anomalies worldwide, and Sumair Kanzaki contributing to spirit armor development. Looming threats include the return of the Kuma and a figure plotting against the government. The page includes screenshots depicting key moments, like Sakura's training, the Flower Division members traveling, and the Imperial Theater under threat. Smaller sections preview specific conflicts and character moments, such as Tsunemair's battle with Akuma, a clash between Tsunemair and Kana due to personality differences, and Maria's anxieties about her responsibilities and the future of the troupe. This page delves into items related to the Sakura Wars OVA series and provides glimpses into the second episode. We see information on the first press bonus for the second act, which is a coupon allowing recipients to receive a special gift upon collecting all 4 OVA volumes. This bonus is a large B1 poster for the video release, or a special storage box for the Laserdisc version. The page also highlights a double CD single release that features the familiar opening theme, Giki Teikoku Kagekidan, the ending theme, Watashi no Aozora, sung by Ayame Fujieda's voice actress A. Orikasa, and the insert song, Omatsuri Dance, sung by Tisa Yokoyama. The CRUDs include special bonus messages from Ayame and Sakura, and the packaging is designed to hold both discs uniquely, unfolding to reveal lyrics and other illustrations. This double single was priced at 1,200 yen and released on January 21st. The jacket art for this single prominently features Kana, Kuran, and Maria. Further details on the second OVA episode are shared through character vignettes. Sakura is shown undergoing rigorous training to master a new sword technique, with her grandfather imparting wisdom that true skill is self-developed. Kana receives news about her father's killer, prompting her to request leave. Ugami denies it but shows understanding. Kuran continues her inventive work at the Flower Division, experiencing daily explosions, particularly while developing her Makoto-kun prototype. The page concludes with an image and a tease to look forward to future updates. This page introduces the SEGA Saturn title, Himitsu Sentai Metamor V, an exciting adventure game set to release in April 1998 with an estimated price of 5,800 yen. Developed by Fake Craft and published by Mycom, this game centers around the theme of 5 colorful warriors who protect Earth. The page showcases the main cast of 5 distinct anime-style girls, highlighted as the titular 5 colored warriors. The visual features the girls in their civilian outfits, with one character prominently displaying a name tag indicating Sagisawa. A smaller inset reveals their transformed, superhero-like appearances, emphasizing the Metamor change transformation that allows them to grow beautifully and aim for peace on Earth. The game promises an interesting adventure, covering land, sea, and air battles, suggesting varied gameplay scenarios. It teases powerful special moves unique to the Metamor warriors. This looks like a fun, character-driven title, leaning into the classic Super Sentai genre with a cute anime aesthetic. This page showcases Cotton 2, Magical Night Dreams, an action-packed, brain-burst action shooting game for the SEGA Saturn. The vibrant artwork features the return of protagonist Cotton alongside the new character Apli, a young witch, and her fairy companion Silk, suggesting a magical adventure. The goal is to find the lost national treasure, the Mizu Euro. The game boasts several exciting features, including a Saturn mode that provides a perfect port of the arcade version, along with an exclusive original mode. It supports simultaneous two-player gameplay, allowing players to control both Cotton and Apply. The page emphasizes the abundant action available, detailing 4 basic techniques and numerous other moves players can utilize. Small screenshots display the game's colorful side-scrolling shooting gameplay. Developed by Success, Cotton 2 was available for 5,800 yen. This page features Langrisser Dramatic Edition, a compilation of the classic tactical RPGs Langrisser I and Langrisser 2, released on the SEGA Saturn. The striking artwork depicts main characters such as Elwyn, Cherie, and Hein, central figures in the series' epic saga of Light vs. Darkness. The article touts significant enhancements for this release, including added event scenes and scenario branches that deepen the narrative and lead to unforeseen dramatic developments. Graphics have been substantially updated, with all battle scene backgrounds redrawn and character visuals dramatically improved. The game system itself has been refined, offering a more polished experience with layout changes that provide increased information. Players can also expect faster loading and saving times for smoother gameplay. Langrisser Dramatic Edition was set to launch on February 11, 1998, with a price of 6,300 yen, and included a special original drama CD as a bonus. The page also mentions that Langrisser 2 was scheduled to join the SEGA Saturn Collection budget lineup. The next page introduces Masaya's latest game for the SEGA Saturn, Dream Generation, marking their debut in the Bishoujo romance simulation genre. The striking artwork showcases several potential female leads, highlighting the game's focus on relationships. This isn't just a standard dating sim. It uniquely integrates career simulation over a 2-year period, where players must balance professional life with pursuing romance with one of the 9 main girls. This ambitious design promises new story paths based on job choices, a concept of real time, and a total of 55 characters. The game boasts multiple story endings and a new dating system, featuring character designs by Miyuki Tokinaga, sound by Masashi Ogata, and scenarios by Yu Yamamoto. Dream Generation was planned for a March 1998 release at a price of 6,300 yen. The developer, Masaya, was also promoting their presence at Comic Market 53, where they featured goods from their other games like Langrisser, and provided a look at Dream Generation, alongside news about their radio show and online presence. This page focuses on the highly anticipated simulation game, Sentimental Graffiti, which was set for a late January 1998 release. It highlights 2 essential companion books for fans published by SoftBank: the Sentimental Graffiti Image Artworks and the Sentimental Graffiti Official Guide. The Image Artworks collection, featuring the distinctive character designs by Tomohisa Kai, is a substantial volume, with 224 pages showcasing 115 beautiful illustrations. It comes in a luxurious clear case and includes a special original poster, making it a must-have for collectors. This art book was already available when this magazine was published, priced at 2,800 yen. The Sentimental Graffiti Official Guide, set to release in early February 1998 for 1,300 yen, is promoted as the definitive strategy resource. It promises detailed guidance for interacting with all 12 main characters, and provides valuable tips for navigating the game's nationwide journey. The page features a large, vibrant illustration of the game's cast, visually representing the game's core concept of connecting with these characters and experiencing the 12 moments of wistfulness. This clearly indicates the depth of the characters and the narrative focus of the game. This page is all about the highly anticipated RPG masterpiece, Grandia, and its official strategy guide released by SoftBank. They're calling it the Official Guidebook, opening the door to a masterpiece, which is quite a hype. This guide, published by SoftBank, is packed with essential info for navigating Grandia's epic world. It features detailed, beautiful maps so you won't miss any items, introduces the charming cast of characters, and covers the gorgeous in-game movies. Plus, it's loaded with data on enemy monsters, items, and delves into the game's lore, setting, and includes a handy glossary. The guide is 144 pages, a 5 size, and was already available for 950 yen. SoftBank is also running a strategy guide campaign, where buying eligible books could win you some sweet gear. Prizes include Game Boy Pocket consoles for 50 winners, the PlayStation game Ape Escape for 100 winners, the Tamagotchi game for Game Boy for 50 winners, and 100 lucky people can snag a special SoftBank telephone card. It looks like Ape Escape is a highlight, with 100 copies up for grabs in this campaign. To enter, you just need to send in an application ticket from an eligible book. This page is an exciting announcement for gamers in 1998. It's promoting Game TV, a brand new website launching on January 1, 1998, focused on delivering game information through high-quality video clips powered by Real Video. This was a big deal back then, getting actual video footage of games online. Game TV promises free browsing with no registration required, offering different channels. There's the main Game TV home channel with constant video streams, a new clips channel for video on demand of the latest games, a hit chart for popular videos, and a library section functioning as a video database for older titles, searchable by console or genre. They even had dedicated channels for Digicube and JNode, hinting at specific content partnerships. The page strongly encourages users to join the People Internet service to get the best experience with Game TV. Their Internet Power Access plan is highlighted, offering unlimited internet usage for a monthly fee of just 2,500 yen for the first 10,000 members. They boast a fast connection and a comprehensive service package, making it a great deal for accessing Game TV and everything else the internet had to offer. They even list major partners like IBM Japan, Fuji TV, and others, showing this was a serious venture. Applying is a simple two-step process, first becoming a People member, then signing up for Power Access online. For late 90s internet access, unlimited usage at that price, and the promise of smooth video was definitely appealing. This page is the reader submission corner of the magazine, titled Let's Part, encouraging readers to aim for Submission King. The header includes a New Year's greeting. This section features various letters from readers, discussing their thoughts, experiences, and opinions, often related to the magazine or their lives. Several letters touch upon personal anecdotes, New Year's resolutions, and the magazine itself. One letter mentions enjoying the magazine's content, particularly the Satamaga, likely referring to the magazine itself or a specific section. Another talks about cutting their hand while reading Satamaga Volume 480, and asks for advice, prompting a brief note from the editors about the frequency of such submissions. There are also letters about family, food, like making miso soup, and everyday life. One reader mentions buying Satamaga for about a year and owning 43 issues. The page includes a few illustrations accompanying some letters. One shows a character holding a Saturn magazine, another is a simple drawing related to cooking, and another depicts a handshake between a human and a character resembling Cyclops from the X-Men, captioned about adding lines and copy to existing images. There's also a small comic strip about something causing trouble or annoyance, drawn simply. Overall, it's a look into the relationship between the magazine and its readership, covering a range of lighthearted topics. Love. Do You Love Me? Showcases reader submissions. Chimera 3 expresses enduring love for a Cybertrooper's Virtualon character. A reader highlights captivating game heroines, ultimately choosing Luna from Lunar. Zoomerless Great Strategy from Amori features Panzer Dragoon Saga-esque characters in a chaotic comic. Kyoto provides wrestling-themed art. Other entries include a discussion of puzzle game improvements, data loss and soul hackers, and nostalgic game memories. A reader notes a questionable claim about Dragon Knight Ein. There's also a lament about selling a game and a humorous 4-panel comic from Kochi. This page presents a reader submission corner titled, I Hate This Kind of Thing, where readers share pet peeves and dislikes across various themes. Submissions cover frustrating experiences with classmates, driving, and even game-related issues like game release delays or frustrating mechanics in titles like Pia Carrot 2 or Digital Pinball. There's also a section musing on the difficulty of generating ideas for submissions. Further down is Higashi Kana's Boys Forbidden After School Club, a space dedicated to submissions specifically from female readers. The Letters Park section outlines how to submit content to various reader participation corners, including the Girls Only Club, general submissions about daily life, illustrations for the Park Gallery, scary stories for the Doki Doki Horror Room, thoughts on computer shopping, manga/comic submissions, and contributions to the Love X2 column. Illustrations on the page include the beloved character Nights from Nights into Dreams, accompanied by a reader comment asking if Nights will appear again, and some small creatures reminiscent of the world of Panzer Dragoon. This page features the Park Gallery, a space showcasing illustrations submitted by readers. It's a diverse collection, offering glimpses into the games and series popular with Sega Saturn fans at the time. One submission features a detailed drawing of what appears to be a classic Gundam mobile suit, accompanied by a comment from a reader in Kanagawa Prefecture, reminiscing about the enduring popularity of the original series. Another entry from Fukuoka Prefecture depicts Edge, the protagonist of the fighting game Last Bronx, wielding his signature giant spoon and fork, alongside a personal anecdote about cutlery. Other illustrations include anime-styled characters, a masked ninja, a mystical figure from the action game Silhouette Mirage, highlighted as being notably popular in Fukuoka, and a fun, holiday-themed piece combining Halloween characters with a Christmas tree, whose submitter from Tokyo is excited about buying more Saturn software. Reader comments touch upon game mechanics, character costumes in fighting games like Samurai Showdown and Street Fighter, and reflections on life. The page also includes essential information for submitters, detailing how to send in postcards and illustrations, the types of materials allowed, and how readers can earn points for published work to exchange for rewards like book vouchers or even Sega Saturn software. A small editorial illustration featuring Misato from Neon Genesis Evangelion offers a poignant comment on the hopes and anxieties of readers submitting their creations. This page is a mail-order catalog from Creative Human, featuring a list of Sega Saturn games available for purchase, with their prices and order information. It includes contact details and shipping costs. This page of Weekly Sega Press, Volume 62, presents a comprehensive look back at the Sega Saturn Digital Circus 97 nationwide tour, expressing deep gratitude to all the fans who attended. The tour, a huge success, traveled across Japan from October 25th to November 30th, making stops in Fukuoka, Hiroshima, Osaka, Nagoya, Sapporo, and concluding in Tokyo. The article highlights memorable moments from each location, reflecting on the enthusiastic turnout and interactions with fans. Photos capture the atmosphere at the Fukuoka and Tokyo events, including a large group shot of attendees and staff. Beyond the tour recap, the page details various ways Sega fans could stay informed. Services like the Sega JoyJoy telephone and Sega Fax Club provided regular updates on the latest Sega news and game information. For those wanting to see games in action, the Sega Video Magazine, available at retailers, featured gameplay footage for highly anticipated titles such as The King of Fighters, 97, Vampire Savior, The Lord of Vampire, Battle Garega, and Initial D. Additionally, demo discs like Flash Sega Saturn offered players a chance to experience various games firsthand, including titles like Power Rangers, Sega Ages/Power Drift, Winter Heat, and Tamagotchi Park. The Sega Internet homepage was also highlighted as a valuable resource for in-depth information and promotions, accessible via the URLs http://www.sega.co.jp and http://www.busters.or.jp. This page clearly shows Sega's dedication to connecting with its fans and keeping them informed about the vibrant world of Sega Saturn. This Sega Saturn Q&A from the Sega CS Promotion Department featured Sonic encouraging fan questions. Readers inquired about issues like replacing the power cord, contact customer service, the possibility of a reader-voted Saturn collection, difficult due to licensing, and a smaller Virtua gun. Sega also desired one. Answering a question about graphical improvements in sequels, the response cited better development tools and developer familiarity with the hardware. The Sega Public Relations Diary accompanied the Q&A with a New Year's message, encouraging Saturn software purchases. It included anecdotes from Nagumo-kun, Yamazaki, and New Gamer Nami. The page concluded with an invitation for readers to submit questions, requests, and illustrations for a chance to win prizes. This page features the 7th chapter of the serialized novel based on the classic Sega Saturn shooter, Radiant Silvergun, titled Cooperation and Malice, Their Aftermath. The novel provides a deeper look into the game's universe, focusing on the private defense force known as Tsukyu Gurentai, Radiant Silvergun, run by Jitsuse Company, Limited. This force undertakes perilous missions, even getting involved in conflict resolution. The narrative is an SF drama centered around several key characters, including pilots like Yasuda, Tasashi Yatagarasu, Ryota Fuji, and Rika Kunimura, and those they interact with. A summary of the story so far is included, detailing previous events, such as an attack by the Black Egret, the mystery surrounding the Yumi Hachiman weapon created by Talshima, and the conflict with the antagonist Akidaka. It's a great way for fans to explore the rich lore behind this challenging shooter. This page features the concluding chapter of the serialized novel based on the classic shooter Radiant Silvergun, titled Final Chapter 7. The narrative plunges into the aftermath of a chaotic battle, describing the destruction of the mining facility and the intense emotional state of Kunimura as she reacts to despair and anger, witnessing the devastation and hearing a child's cry. The focus shifts to the defeat of the antagonist, Akidaka, whose machine, Shiden, is destroyed, leaving him cursing hysterically. The scene concludes with Kunimura communicating with Mikazuki, likely the pilot Yatagarasu, offering words of rest after the ordeal, only to be met with a retort about the state of their systems. The page also includes profiles for key characters: Kaoru Yatagata, the 24-year-old female leader of Tsukyu Gurentai, who investigated the incident and rescued her comrades; Ryota Hori, a skilled pilot member of Tsukyu Gurentai who was defeated by a missile during the fight; Rika Kunimura, a Jitsuse defense member involved in the conflict and rival to Mikazuki; and Eiji Ashijima, the former Jitsuse engineer and developer of the Yumi Hachiman weapon, who maintains a deceptive persona despite his calculating nature. It's a dramatic conclusion, tying up plot threads from the previous chapters, and providing deeper insight into the game's core cast. This page continues the serialized Radiant Silvergun novel, Final Chapter 7, delving into the aftermath of the intense battle. The narrative follows Mikazuki, likely pilot Yatagarasu, and Kunimura, as they process the recent events. Their exchange is abruptly interrupted by a communication from Talsima, the mysterious figure who provided covering fire. Mikazuki confronts Talsima via monitor, demanding to know his identity and allegiances, questioning why someone helping them would attack. Talsima responds vaguely, suggesting the situation is more complex than it appears. The illustrations accompanying the text depict the desolate, battle-scarred landscape littered with damaged mechs, likely showing the aftermath of the conflict. Close-up illustrations show the intense expressions of characters, including Mikazuki, Kunimura, and a bloodied face from the fighting, emphasizing the harsh reality of the battle. This section introduces Talsima directly, and sets up a new point of conflict and intrigue regarding his true role. This page continues the serialized novel titled Tsukyu Gurentai, picking up after a fierce battle. The narrative follows Mikazuki and Kunimura as they investigate the wreckage, discovering a human arm and then a skull, which is analyzed to identify the person. The story shifts focus to the internal struggles of the Jinhoshi Corporation, facing intense rivalry from a Southeast Asian competitor, the Hachifuku Seikan Kaihatsu Kaisha. Jinhoshi is portrayed as battling accusations of terrorism and environmental damage. The novel concludes with a to-be-continued graphic. Below the novel, there is a message from Rafikizing, penned by Kenichi Yoku, a developer known for their work on shoot-'em-ups. He offers a humorous perspective from the viewpoint of a common fodder enemy in shooting games, commenting on how overpowered the playerships are compared to the weak enemies. He asks readers to appreciate the effort of the defeated fodder enemies. This page is an advertisement for Santa, a specialty store focusing on SEGA products offering mail-order sales. It provides their contact information, including phone, fax, address, and even a website URL, noting their operating hours are weekdays from 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Shipping costs are detailed, with a base rate of 400 yen and additional charges for specific regions like Shikoku, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Okinawa, plus an extra fee for cash on delivery orders. The core of the page is an extensive catalog, listing numerous games and peripherals available for purchase across various SEGA platforms, including the SEGA Saturn, Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Game Gear. This comprehensive list covers both new releases and a wide range of existing titles and hardware accessories, each with its price clearly marked. Instructions are provided on how customers can place orders via phone or fax. Furthermore, the page outlines several convenient payment methods: cash on delivery, direct bank transfer, sending funds via registered cash mail, or using a postal money order. Specific account details are provided for bank and postal transfers, along with notes on estimated delivery times, depending on the chosen payment method. This page kicks off a special multi-part feature dedicated to showcasing extreme techniques or cheats and tricks for SEGA Saturn games. This is the first installment in the series. The introductory text is energetic, announcing that they are bringing back a wealth of techniques previously featured in the magazine over the next 2 weeks. It promises a comprehensive collection of tricks for various Saturn titles, assuring readers that they will find what they are looking for. The feature will organize the techniques alphabetically by game title, making it easy to navigate. The page is visually dynamic, with an illustration of an excited fan, complete with a classic student uniform, surrounded by floating game discs, and holding a SEGA Saturn controller while standing next to the console. It clearly sets the stage for an in-depth look at unlocking the secrets within the Saturn's extensive game library. This page presents cheat codes and hidden features for various Japanese video games starting with the letter A. It covers assault rigs, providing codes for invincibility and unlimited items. Asuka 120% limited, Burning Fest. Limited secrets include unlocking hidden characters and their special moves. Idol Janshi Tsuchipai 2 offers extensive tricks, such as special modes, stage selects, item acquisition, and interactive character features. Other games highlighted include Idol Mahjong Final Romance R, with a menu toggle, and Aquazone for SEGA Saturn, enabling background changes and water quality adjustments. Advanced vs. Jog reveals boss character unlocks and super move commands. Earthworm Jim 2 has a weapon-dependent command for various effects, while Advanced World War Rise of the Millennium Empire allows players to select special female officers through name input. The page offers a diverse collection of gameplay enhancements. This page explores hidden features and cheats for various SEGA Saturn games, expanding on previous entries. Darkstalkers offers character color options, alternate victory poses, unique match scenes, and hidden moves. A secret configuration menu provides in-depth game adjustments, including speed and round limits. Other games benefit from similar secrets. Impact Racing features passwords for level skipping and invincibility. Virtual Hideline unlocks a special grade difficulty, allows for no game overs, and hides a powerful sword and recovery springs. Amok grants invincibility and level selection via passwords. Alone in the Dark 2 has a bizarre early game warp. Angelique Special provides character interaction tips, hidden graphics, and dating advice. Lastly, the page reveals a hidden audio message from the Virus game disc. These discoveries offer diverse ways to modify gameplay and unveil hidden content. This page unveils numerous hidden features in SEGA Saturn games. Tokimeki Memorial offers a special item. Wizard's Harmony allows cursor manipulation, character event triggers, and romance options. Winning Post 2 displays race wins and friendship boosts. Eternal Melody lets players access background music and use a schedule shortcut. Ultraman Legend of the Great Giant enables battle scene alterations and ending movie access. X Japan Virtual Shock 001 offers video editing after game over. X-Men Children of the Atom reveals how to unlock Akuma and access additional fight options. Wizardry Vi and V 2 complete features item duping and equipment customization. Air's Adventure allows playing as Princess Corrin and earning double gil. Billion Trilogy provides password effects. Finally, II Go unlocks a true strongest mode. This page dives into more hidden features for a selection of SEGA Saturn titles. It kicks off with Secrets for Enemy Zero, revealing details about triggering Laura's shower scene after clearing hard mode, and a glitch or feature that makes enemies disappear in a specific area of the facility. Next up is content for Fry 1 Live Information, a racing game. This section details how to unlock the very hard difficulty, revisit course endings, enable a special Super Tyrell mode with unique engine sounds, and even manipulate the starting grid position and the number of laps in a race using specific button combinations linked to reference tables shown on the page. The majority of the page focuses on X-Men vs. Street Fighter, providing an extensive list of hidden special moves and techniques for numerous characters, including Storm, Iceman, Silver Samurai, Omega Red, Cyclops, Wolverine, Psylocke, Sentinel, Spiral, and Colossus. It also includes notes on how inputs might change depending on which direction the character is facing, and specific properties of certain moves like extended attack duration or varied effects. Another hidden feature mentioned is the ability to select the same character twice after clearing the game. Finally, the page touches on NBA Jam Extreme, detailing how to unlock hidden teams like the All-Stars, and acclaim teams via a password entry screen, and even enabling a fun big head mode as part of that same password sequence. This document unveils hidden features in several SEGA Saturn games. In Makun wo Tsuteite, diary partners are determined by initial answers, and a fourth character unlocks after specific endings. Offworld Interceptor Extreme offers a cheat for maximum starting cash, though disabling options, and a mercy mode. Omakase Taimagyu reveals unlockable features with specific names and methods to avoid a dark ending and maximize experience. Elevator Action Returns includes button sequences for unlocking the original game, extra options, and starting with 8 credits. Ochan no Oikaki logic allows resetting mistake counts. Nissan Presents Overdriving GTR unlocks cars and courses via passwords and button combinations. While Guardian Heroes has numerous secrets, including a sound test, starting with 98 continues, fast-forwarding demo scenes, hiding the pause display, hidden skills, an arena, character color randomization, canceling moves, and even reviving enemies with high HP. The game also features a debug switch, with various commands. This text details hidden features and cheats for several SEGA Saturn games. In Kaitu Saint Tail, a minigame is unlocked by holding L, R, and A. Kaikusei allows for character warning messages, main character changes, and title screen character alterations. Fatal Fury 3, Road to Final Victory has extensive command lists for special moves, a speed-up mode, and a Chibico system. Culdicept unlocks Goligan and randomizes land placement after story mode completion. Kanzen Chuke Pro Yaku Greatest 9 features, Real Face Mode, faster flag animations, pennant mark bouncing, and stadium wireframe rotation changes. Finally, Gungrafon the Eurasian Conflict offers numerous title screen cheats for instant endings, unlimited resources, and enemy manipulation, as well as a specific mission secret to spin a windmill. This text reveals hidden features and unlockables for several SEGA Saturn games. Hostel offers a secret mode for 99 lives, a sound test, stage select, and even voice changes. Mobile Suit Gundam games feature random team modes, stat viewing, match order swapping, and various cheats. The Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story Trilogy unlocks stage selects, and the third episode lets you fight the RX 782 Gundam. Casper speeds up title screen movement. Galaxy Fight, Universal Warriors has display toggles, zoom effects, hidden character encounters, and a special rank screen. Martian successor Nadesico unlocks new scenarios based on the ending, and Mobile Suit Z Gundam Part 2 changes continue sequences. Galjan adds a profile board hide feature and the humorous Obachan mode. These hidden features enhance replayability and offer a deeper experience for Saturn game enthusiasts. Several SEGA Saturn games contain unlockable features. Galjan S unlocks characters and offers graphic changes. Galaxy Fraulein Yuna Remix has a powerful battle command and an Omake mode. King of Boxing adds characters after clearing the game. Quiz 365 allows pausing. Quiz Nanero Dreams details character-specific endings. Kyun Kyun Bunny Premieres features a nude scene and prank calls. Cubic Gallery expands puzzles. Tube Battler Debugger Show includes dark and karaoke modes. Gyowambura Jiko Chushinha Tokyo Mahjong Land unlocks a casino. Gulliver Boy features experience/money boosts, Suck mode, free party recovery, hidden items, and battle recovery. Gusun Oyoyo S has unusual modes like Ojaji mode, Hentai mode, and debug mode. This page continues the guide to hidden features and secrets on the SEGA Saturn, focusing on games starting with the Ka sound. For Climb Wave, you can unlock all stages by entering JAW in the name entry screen. Gradius Deluxe Pack players can use the classic Konami code for full power, unlock a no-wait mode after beating the game, select stages, and even get the Ducker ship to shoot projectiles. Groove On Fight details conditions to unlock hidden characters and provides move lists for Demian Shade and Bristol Weller in both forms. Kururin Pa features a secret character, Barobaru King, unlockable via a button sequence on the title screen, and there's a shortcut to view the ending. Gridrunner adds a race mode, while Greatest 996 has a secret rain mode. Several sports titles offer unique features like manipulating the camera, controlling stadium rotation and speed, customizing team composition in All-Star mode, moving the pet mark on the results screen, and even controlling the ball's trajectory during pitching in battles. In Cleopatra Fortune, progressing through the arcade mode unveils special cosplay versions of the character Batarako after the initial appearances, featuring various outfits like school swimsuits and bunny girl. Christmas Night's Winter Limited Edition allows players to unlock and play as Relay by changing the Saturn's date. Finally, Clockwork offers special names for high-score entries. The guide uncovers secrets for SEGA Saturn's Clockwork Knight series. Volume 1 allows stage selection, 999 lives, and instant ending viewing via title screen button sequences. Volume 2 repeats these features, adding the ability to play as stage bosses. Clockwork Knight. Pepelucho's Lucky Bag unlocks Ginger as a playable character and a minigame collection. Secrets from the previous games also apply here. Further, a bonus movie is unlockable in the main game by achieving specific feats. The guide also covers secrets for other games. Gale Racer features Sonic character transformations as you overtake rivals and a horn function. Gameware Volume 1 allows posing in Ejihan, while Volume 5 provides cheats to skip exams and clear stages in various modes. Game Tengoku reveals sound test screens and character control options. This resource provides cheats and hidden features for various Sega Saturn games. General cheats include a full power-up and viewing recollection modes. Specific titles benefit from these additions, such as Saturn Bomberman's Hidden Bomber and Game Tengoku's unlockable characters and frame changes. K1 Fighting Illusion Grand Prix unlocks characters, while Game no Tatsujin Saturn offers a Game Master feature for instant skill boosts. Gekka Mugentan Toriko unlocks an unseen viewer, and Gex has a visual trick with footprints. Marriage-type games offer a money exploit. Genso Soki Gen War has stage select and staff role display options. Goiken MUU unlocks versus Iron Man mode and hidden characters. Gotha Battle of Ismalia provides a test mode and bug movement techniques. Gokujo Parodius Deluxe Pack includes power-up and option cheats. Finally, Godzilla Archipelago Shock features a stage select and a Godzilla dance after a game over, while Koden Kuryujutsu Hyaku Monogatari unlocks warning messages. This page details unlockables and secrets for several Sega Saturn games. In Side Pocket 2, players can view trick shots, gain extra continues, even unlimited ones, and unlock a harder challenge FATS mode. Cyberbots Full Metal Madness features unlockable fighters like Warlock and Shin Akuma, Zeroguki, along with a debug mode. Siberia has a shortcut to the final stage. The King of Fighters 96 allows unlocking Geese Howard and Wolfgang Krauser, and also features demo playback unlocking. The King of Fighters 95 enables players to unlock Omega Rugal and Seishu Kusanagi, with extra team editing options and a special move command alteration secret. Sakura Wars offers access to special scenes and unlocks an extra mode with minigames and bonus content. This page details a variety of unlockable secrets and cheats for several Sega Saturn titles. For the Crow, a list of stage passwords is provided, allowing players to skip directly to different levels. The convenience store offers business-focused secrets like earning idle ownership, bypassing sales permit requirements, accessing hidden maps after clearing difficulty levels, and manipulating sales for profit. For Saturn Bomberman, there are powerful title screen codes to start on stages 1 through 5, with maximum power-ups, and another code to disable this effect. Various games feature character or unit-based secrets, such as enabling hidden characters Yuna and Mantor in a fighting game, likely Cyberbots based on previous page context or another fighting title, and accessing Zankuro Minazuki in Samurai Showdown 2-1, Blades of Blood and Samurai Showdown IV. Amakusa's Revenge via specific timed button inputs, with his special moves listed. Other secrets include minigame unlocks, like viewing photos in a coupling game, and system-level cheats, such as increasing the player count in normal mode, based on the Saturn's internal clock time. Specific game secrets include boosting movement speed and bomb-throwing distance, unlocking visual test modes, scenario select and music test modes in 3x3 eyes Ls, and even game-breaking cheats for the Horde like instant scenario clear, gaining instant money, granting invincibility to the town, accessing all items and weapons, doubling a unit's running speed, and making a specific unit type invincible. Finally, Zap! Snowboarding Tricks has a secret to change the star count displayed. This page details cheats and secrets for various Sega Saturn games. Samurai Showdown has a move list for Zankuros. Salamander Deluxe Pack Plus offers stage select, invincibility, and power-up maxing. Sankyo Fever Jikyu Simulations Sins provides cheats for pachinko simulations, including live-action machine models and fever mode. Romance of the Three Kingdoms. IV allows bonus point boosts for newly created generals, while Versus uses advisor advice for recruitment. Heroic Legend features a money duplication glitch. Thunder Force Gold Packs offer weapon sets, stage select, and speed adjustments. Other games have specific unlocks. Seabass Fishing includes a zoom feature. G-Vector has a credit maxing code. J.League Soccer games offer features like oversized player heads, uniform changes, referee modifications, a starting fund cheat, staff role viewing, and Facemaker mode. Thunder Force Versus unlocks extra content via PC, and Unlimited continues on harder difficulties with a good ending. This page unveils hidden features and cheats for various SEGA Saturn games. Tokimeki Memorial reveals secret savings, while Kishin Duji Zenki. Retu Raidai offers enhanced camera control. Shijuryu provides infinite continues and double scoring. Jiku Tante DD. Maboroshi no Lorelei discloses a character detail, and Shining Wisdom offers hidden stair visibility, speed boosts, and powerful magic. Shining the Holy Ark features a giant foot attack and multi-controller viewing. The Parodius series, especially Jikyu Oshibari Parodius Forever With Me, offers codes for character selection, stage selection, and free play, with an optional vocal BGM. Hebereke's Pupun boasts invincibility, level selection, credit/life adjustments, power-up maxing, and self-destruct. SimCity 2000 allows helicopter destruction and slot machine play. Virtua Fighter Kids has a lag consecutive wins trick. Shiku, Mahu Daisakusen, lets you choose modes and ensures character gain always wins in 2-player. Jikyu Pachislot Hishuhao 3 lets you select stores and skip gameplay. These secrets enhance the Saturn gaming experience, providing both gameplay advantages and fun discoveries. This page continues our exploration of hidden features and cheats across various SEGA Saturn titles. For Shanghai, Great Wall of China, players can access hidden items and bypass password requirements for continues. Rayforce 2 features a secret character that appears after completing specific game modes. Shutsugeki! Minikyu Police hides 2 unlockable movies and allows skipping stages with a specific button combination. The original Panzer Dragoon offers tricks for character viewing and sound skipping. Tokyo Highway Battle 97 lets you unlock the powerful Type VW car after clearing scenario mode. Kukusei Jokan Hukago Bukunpa has a hidden character that can be unlocked by meeting certain conditions on higher difficulties. Johnny Bazookaton provides useful passwords for obtaining extra lives and selecting specific stages. Silhouette Mirage details how to acquire rare items and view character move lists. Shinobi Legions is loaded with secrets, including an expert mode, max shuriken, enhanced lives and continues, a demo viewer, and stage select. The fighting game God Hand allows players to unlock specific characters like Behemoth and Lucifer through codes entered during character selection. Neon Genesis Evangelion games offer diverse cheats, such as unlocking a karaoke mode, changing background images, screen control options, and specific triggers to board the EVA Unit 01. Lastly, Shinseki Kurinpa includes ways to view endings and unlock playable boss characters. This page continues revealing hidden secrets and cheats for SEGA Saturn games, focusing on titles starting with SEGA. For the Neon Genesis Evangelion games, we dive deep into triggers for key in-game events like acquiring new weapons, the umbilical cable being cut under specific combat conditions, and even initiating the iconic EVA Unit 01 Berserk state, noting the reversed controls. The page details an extensive bonus mode in Neon Genesis Evangelion Second Impression unlocked through achievement levels, offering everything from unreleased music and character art galleries to a polygon viewer, fortune-telling, and a fun puzzle game. Specific cheats allow access to a karaoke mode, triggering bonus character voices, getting Rainy to appear in the Unison game, or even unlocking a special version voiced by Megumi Hayashibara. There are also hints for skipping tutorial sections and accessing stage select in the Unison game. Moving on, for Samurai Showdown RPG, a simple button command on the character select screen lets you change the main character's color. Finally, for the Mansion of Hidden Souls, a hint is provided on how to use the tarot card received from Joseph to determine the next room's occupant. These tips add significant depth and replayability to these classic Saturn titles. This page details hidden features and cheats for various SEGA Saturn games. In El Hazard, completing all endings unlocks bonus content. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner has a Devil Analyzer mode. Psychic Assassin Teromaru allows alternate character colors and unlocks a ranking mode upon completion. Dark Legend lists hidden techniques for characters, including move commands and conditions. Suikoden Oath of Destiny offers a special ending and thank you message by gaining the favor of all characters. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo reveals how to unlock bonus characters like Morrigan and Lilith, and hidden characters such as Akuma, Dan, and Deviolet, with specific button combinations and gameplay requirements to unlock them. This guide reveals hidden features and cheats for various SEGA Saturn games. In Darkstalkers 3, certain button combinations unlock hidden characters. Skullfang Kuga Gaiden offers access to the White Sword aircraft by completing ranking mode, along with difficulty adjustments and credit increases via title screen codes. Saving settings requires clearing extra mode. Super Real Mahjong games provide cheats for viewing character demos, direct opponent selection, and numerous secrets like unlocking hidden graphics, swimsuit visuals, character voice changes, and a reward room. Steve Slope Sliders includes codes for unlocking an extra course and hidden characters, plus a secret minigame. Kutetsu Reiki Steeldom allows players to change character colors, obtain boss colors for characters, and utilize infinite continues. Finally, Stakes Winner and Stakes Winner 2 provide codes for increasing starting funds, with Stakes Winner 2 also offering password access to hidden horses. This page delves into the secrets and hidden features within the Street Fighter Collection and Street Fighter Alpha games on Sega Saturn, following up on the previous page's theme of uncovering game cheats. For Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo within the Street Fighter Collection, it explains how to easily select Akuma from the character select screen using button combinations. Moving on to Street Fighter Alpha 2, detailed instructions are provided for unlocking alternative character versions like Evil Ryu, Violent Ken, and a special Dash Zangief. It also reveals methods for accessing different color palettes for Sakura and altering the character selection order in survival mode. For Street Fighter Alpha, the page outlines how to unlock and play as Dan and Akuma, including specific button inputs at the character select screen for different colors. It also describes the conditions under which CPU Dan can appear, and how to trigger Akuma's appearance as an opponent early or late in arcade mode, often tied to performance or specific actions. The ability to select different win quotes for characters is also covered. The page includes condensed tables listing special moves for key characters like Akuma, Kami, M. Bison, referred to as Vega in Japan, Dan, and Evil Ryu. This page continues the exploration of hidden features and secrets on the Sega Saturn. For the Street Fighter series, it details how to unlock Dash Dhalsim by following a specific character selection sequence, and how to access hidden stages and win messages through button inputs. It also covers specific cheats for Street Fighter, the movie, showing the button combination needed to unlock Akuma. Moving beyond Street Fighter, the page reveals secrets for other Saturn titles. In Slayers Royal 2, you can start with 3,000 gold by loading specific data, and hide screen text by pressing AL. For Super Casino Special, entering the name Angel puts you within $100 of the ending. A political simulation game allows for advancing freely with button presses. Pretty Fighter X lets players unlock Maria and change character colors. Victory Goal International features methods to change in-game commentary and replay camera angles. For Snatchers, there's a trick to turn the shooting target into a Twin Bee sprite and unlock alternative wallpapers. Space Invaders has a bizarre secret, where pressing multiple buttons in 2 prep battle makes a cat appear. Finally, 3 Dirty Dwarves has a hidden stage select accessed via a password after a button input on the title screen. The page also includes a list of staff phone numbers, likely for player feedback or fan interaction. This page continues the exploration of hidden features and secrets, focusing primarily on several Sega Ages titles and Sega Rally Championship. For Sega Ages Afterburner 2, you can enable a smoother 60 frames per second mode and access hidden options, like a music test and developer playback. The Sega Ages Columns Arcade Collection details the specific requirements to unlock rare mysterious gems across the included Columns games. Sega Ages Space Harrier and Fantasy Zone both feature methods to unlock arcade perfect modes and access dip switch settings, along with additional hidden options like a shadow mode. Sega Ages Memorial Selection Volume 1 contains a significant hidden options menu, unlocked via a specific button sequence, allowing players to adjust numerous game settings, from screen layout to shot prices and weapon limits. Sega Rally Championship provides secrets like racing against a developer's ghost car, unlocking the lakeside course, triggering environmental effects like a cliff collapse, and driving the iconic Stratos car in various modes. The page also mentions hidden messages in Afterburner 2 during refueling sequences, and special messages in Fantasy Zone, tied to name entry. The text details hidden features and secrets in various Sega Saturn games. In Zero Yan Champ Doozy J Type R, players can manipulate the slot machine, unlock effects via character names, and view the staff roll. Sega Rally Championship allows for Stratus car modifications, screen clearing, and racing against developer ghost cars. Sexy Parodius offers pause screen power-up/down commands and a secret stage for perfect scores. Zero Dividend grants starting advantages through character names. Sengoku Blade unveils a Koen and Marion through a specific character selection sequence and random stage selection. Data Saturn utilizes real-world time and score for unlockables. Cyberbots Full Metal Madness uses rapid-fire for a web deployment trick. Sword and Sorcery features a post-credits mini-drama. Sentimental Graffiti First Window allows for automatic digital settings and character switching. All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua hides characters behind one pit mode and match conditions. Finally, Zoku Gusun Oyoyo S contains a hentai mode unlock and an easy reset function. This page details various hidden features and secrets across multiple Sega Saturn titles. For Graduation 2 Neo Generation, players can unlock extra content like visuals and karaoke sessions based on their performance and ratings. Sonic Jam offers a wide array of cheats, including charge shots for certain planes in the flying game, stage select codes for Sonic 3 and Knuckles in Sonic 2, methods to view the endings for Sonic 1, options for its Sonic World mode such as hosting tournaments and changing camera angles, invincibility cheats, the ability to swap characters, a command to unlock all playable characters, and unique abilities for specific aircraft like variable wings and fixed shot directions. Darksaber contains secrets like changing camera perspectives during the minecart sequence, accessing a minigame called Love Love Go-Kart, a trick to gain massive amounts of points, a hidden train screen, a method to control the enemy character in two-player mode, and a hidden keyboard on the sound test screen. Finally, in Great Sports Meet, there's a trick involving saving and loading data that allows players to access certain training menus earlier than intended. The content provides a comprehensive list of ways players can explore hidden aspects and gain advantages in these games. This resource unveils hidden features and secrets across various Sega Saturn games, enhancing replayability. Uncharted Waters 2 New Horizons has item shop exploits and time-sensitive item finds. Taiku Rishiden 2 allows for non-Hideyoshi gameplay. Daisuke Heart unlocks conversations with a happy ending save. Daisen Ryaku Strong Style reveals a staff roll code. Daedalus boasts cooperative commands. Titan Wars includes debug modes. Die Hard Arcade surprisingly features a code to supposedly increase enemy warships using Deep Scan. Boken series unlocks credits, mech selection, and stage select based on difficulty. Tactical Fighter offers a secret graphic. Tactics Ogre lets you access music mode and Deneb. Tadaima Wakusei Kaitakuchu enables auto mode and battle customization. Tama increases zoom with a button press. Darius Gaiden and Darius 2 offer difficulty and shot manipulation codes. Detective Jinguji Saburo features card chase swaps and Bar Kasumi events based on affection, detailed in the guide. This page delves into a trove of hidden techniques and secrets for several classic Sega Saturn titles. For the king of arcade racers, Daytona USA, there's a wealth of unlockables, including special car variants like the mythical Uma and Uma 2, enabling racing on grass without losing speed. You can also trigger unique animations for the iconic Jeffrey statue, see a tireless demo car, and unlock various modes like Mania, Karaoke, and Mirror Mode. The page also shares pro racing tips, such as the rocket start technique, stopping the million slot for time bonuses, and advanced gear-based drifting. Beyond the track, secrets are revealed for other games like Chao Aniki, Kyukyoku, Otoko no Gyakushu, which has a visual increase command, and Macross, Do You Remember Love?, allowing players to see a Minmai doll in the staff roll and access Option Plus. For survival horror fans, there's a method to start mid-game in Dee's Diner. The page also provides codes for accessing a bonus stage and a debug mode in Tsukai, slot shooting. These hidden features truly enhance the depth and replayability of these great games. This page reveals hidden techniques and secrets for several Sega Saturn games. Daytona USA Circuit Edition unlocks powerful cars, special tricks, flipping statues, hovercraft-like cars, developer ghost cars, time bonuses via the slot machine, and various race modes like Mirror Mode and Time of Day/Season Changes. Decathlete features tips to unlock Koichi Morita, unique running styles, and advanced event techniques. Twinkle Star Sprites unlocks bomb graphics for Momoko 3. Drexherd reveals a camera mode and the ability to view the ending early. Desire unlocks a sound test. The page hints at other Sega classics and initials, suggesting more hidden content. This page reveals hidden features in several Sega Saturn games. Players of Dazeman 2 can unlock invincibility, extra games, and view behind-the-scenes content through button inputs. DX Jinsei game titles offer boosts and special properties via unique events and name entries. Fighting games like Dead or Alive Unlock characters and costumes by meeting specific conditions. Digital Pinball Last Gladiators v.9.7 features extensive debug modes. Shooter fans find scene skips and power-ups in games like Death Crimson and Daytona. Twindy Yahoo! Deluxe Pack. Terra Fantastica allows camera control during battles, while TV anime Slam Dunk. I Love Basketball unlocks unique multiplayer options. Daro Daro offers a hidden model viewer.
The page highlights the developer's hidden extras for dedicated Saturn players across various genres.
This page continues the exploration of hidden features across several SEGA Saturn titles, much like the previous one. For fans of Kaze no Densetsu Xanadu 2, you can access a hidden scenario, plus dedicated sound and voice tests. Tengai Meikyu Daiyon no Mokushiroku offers a neat trick to fast-forward time and even a classic money-making glitch by manipulating the Saturn's internal clock. In Tenchi Muyo, you can unlock a special mode giving access to all characters. Fighting game enthusiasts playing Virtua On.
Cyber troopers will be thrilled to learn how to unlock several Virtuoids, including E6 Temjin, D-Type Raiden, and Yaguarande. There are also codes for a 2P color version, an alternate ending, camera view toggles, and even hiding the pause display. For Tenchi wo Kurao 2, the page details special moves and reveals the locations of powerful hidden items like Excalibur, a strong Japanese sword, and the incredibly powerful Sword of Grass. Bakuretsu Hunter S includes tips on changing in-game TV channels and outlines the conditions for earning various badges that increase your Monster Hunter level. Finally, the legendary strategy RPG Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen holds a secret. Entering the name Firecrest at the start unlocks a hidden scenario. The protagonist's name also changes based on gender, becoming Sachem for male and Erwin for female. Thor Seiryu Kiden provides button commands for executing powerful sword techniques. This page unveils hidden features across several SEGA Saturn games. Action/fighting games boast special move commands tied to weapon types, and unlockable two-player modes and difficulty settings. Players can exploit boss fights for experience gains. With the dating sim Dukyusei If, unlockable content includes cosplay, part-time job mechanics, room BGM customization, and title screen alterations. Dukyusei 2 offers a trick to skip the opening. Racing game Tudge King the Spirits features hidden cars, stat optimization tips, Gymkhana mode access, replay camera changes, and sky modifications. Tournament Leader includes input code activated options to affect gameplay elements, even summoning a UFO. Finally, Tomb Raider provides cheat codes for stage completion and unlimited ammunition, while Battle Arena to Shinden Yura allows players to unlock hidden characters. This guide unveils hidden techniques and unlockables for Battle Arena to Shinden Yura, including move lists for Sho, Vermilion, and Volf. It details how to unlock boss characters like Volf and Toshinhei, and even Sho and Vermilion, through title screen button sequences, which also control boss appearance and super move activation. Beyond character unlocks, the guide reveals secret modes, Euro mode, puzzle elements, watch mode, CPU versus CPU matches, and hidden option menus, Euro option and Euro option 2, for advanced settings like invincibility. It also covers how to access detailed bout time/strength adjustments, color selection, simple win pose control, match records, and ending sequence customization. The guide aims to enrich the player's experience by offering a deeper dive into the game's hidden features. This page features two separate articles covering different aspects of the gaming world. The first column, titled Came to Las Vegas, provides a travelogue by Fumio Kurokawa, detailing his experiences in the city after a visit to New York. He describes Las Vegas's transformation into a vast entertainment capital, built around themed hotels and expansive arcades. They visited key locations, like the MGM Grand and the New York Hotel, observing the unique concepts behind their gaming floors and attractions, including speculation on Sega AM2's potential involvement in structures like roller coasters within hotels. He notes finding intriguing arcade posters featuring Virtua Fighter characters like Akira and Shundai, reflecting on the quality control of AM2. The second column, Ikebukuro Sara's Virtua Crash, written by Toyohiko Yoshishizu, reports on a unique Virtua Fighter event, an 8-hour endurance kumaide, held in Niigata, featuring Sarah Bryant. He details the format, similar to a long survival challenge but extended over 8 hours, and highlights the significant participation and numerous matches played.
Despite the demanding nature, he describes the event as highly rewarding and enjoyable, crediting the dedication of the staff and attendees. A specific website is mentioned for those seeking more information about the event's proceedings. Brief profiles introduce the authors, and information panels provide details on upcoming relevant gatherings. This page features the 7th installment of the manga series, Road to Saturn, by Gomikawa Jun. The comic strip follows the humorous struggles of the protagonist on their quest to acquire a SEGA Saturn console. Having previously declared their intention to buy a Saturn, they are now faced with the harsh reality of lacking funds. A mysterious goddess-like figure appears, seemingly offering a solution or a challenge related to achieving their goal. The protagonist goes through various attempts to get the console and software, including receiving a potential offer involving regular deposits. The goddess character is later asked about Saturn software, and the game mentioned as the protagonist's potential first Saturn title is Atelier Marie, the Alchemist of Solberg. The strip ends with the protagonist reflecting on their journey, realizing that the road to Saturn Master is only just beginning. This page presents the SEGA Saturn Software Databank, a comprehensive list tracking SEGA Saturn games released from November 22, 1994 through December 25, 1997. This valuable resource allows players to easily see the status of the entire Saturn library released during this period. It provides essential details for each game, including the release date, developer or publisher, original price, and genre. Crucially, it compiles review data, showing both the average scores from readers who submitted their votes and the average review scores given by the magazine's own panel of 3 reviewers. Games are organized chronologically by their release month and year, creating a quick reference guide. While the list itself is extensive, covering hundreds of titles like the early Virtua Fighter, Myst, and Daytona USA, alongside later hits such as Street Fighter Real Battle on Film, the true value lies in having the combined reader and magazine review scores readily accessible, offering a snapshot of public and critical reception for a vast range of Saturn software. The next page continues the comprehensive SEGA Saturn Software Databank, presenting more release information for the console's library. This segment lists games primarily released in late 1995, providing key details for each title. You'll find the release date, the game's title translated to its international name where applicable, the developer or publisher, the original price, and the genre. Crucially, for any serious Saturn enthusiast, the list includes both the aggregated scores from reader surveys and the review scores from the magazine's own review team. This makes it easy to see how games like the arcade-perfect port of Virtua Cop, the fighting game crossover X-Men, Children of the Atom, and the anime adaptation Dragon Ball Z Shin Butoden were received by both the audience and the critics at the time. It's a valuable historical record for understanding the reception and basic details of the Saturn's diverse software lineup. This page continues the comprehensive SEGA Saturn Software Databank, cataloging releases from April through August of 1996. Just like the previous entries, it serves as an essential resource for enthusiasts, listing each game with its release number, title, publisher or developer, genre, and crucially, both the aggregated reader review score and the magazine's own critical score. This section showcases the Saturn's diverse library during this period, including titles like the beloved RPG Dragon Force, the fighting game crossover The King of Fighters 95, sports sims such as Sega Worldwide Soccer 97, Victory Goal 96, and NFL Quarterback Club 96, and arcade ports like Gradius Deluxe Pack and Metal Black. You also see unique Japanese titles like The Mansion of Hidden Souls, Nanatsu no Hikan, The Bizarre Cho Aniki, Absolute, and Counterattack, and the iconic Nights into Dreams, listed here in its special bundle edition with the 3D controller. The databank provides valuable insight into the reception of these games, offering a snapshot of how players and critics viewed the expanding Saturn lineup at the time. This page continues the comprehensive SEGA Saturn Software Databank, progressing into the releases from October and November of 1996. It maintains the detailed format, providing the release number, date, title, publisher, genre, price, reader score, magazine score, and compatibility information for each game. This section showcases a solid lineup for the Saturn as the year drew to a close. You'll find major titles like the iconic RPG Sakura Taisen, the highly regarded action-adventure game Legend of Oasis, known as the story of Thor 2 internationally, the classic fighting game Fighting Vipers, and the popular arcade racer Daytona USA Circuit Edition. The list also includes RPGs, such as Shining the Holy Ark and Magic Knight Ray Earth, alongside various other genres like shooting games, puzzles, and strategy titles, including Striker 96 and Sexy Parodius. The compatibility notes highlight the range of peripherals supported, from the mouse and analog controller to specific game-required devices like the Twin Stick. The scores provide valuable insight into how these titles were received by both the magazine critics and the readers, offering a clear picture of the strengths and weaknesses of the Saturn library during this busy release period. This page continues the comprehensive SEGA Saturn software databank, presenting release information for games primarily from December 1996 and extending into early 1997. The familiar table format is maintained, detailing each game's release number, date, title, publisher, price, genre, and scores from both the magazine critics and readers, alongside compatibility notes. This section highlights a strong period for the Saturn's library. You'll find releases spanning a wide array of genres, from classic ports like Super Street Fighter II Turbo and Space Invaders, to notable originals such as Enemy Zero and the much-anticipated Grandia. Other significant titles include Battle Garega, the fighting game compilation Fighters Megamix, and the start of the epic RPG series, Shining Force 2I Scenario 1. The data also covers popular multi-platform hits, like Tomb Raider and Resident Evil. The scores offer valuable insight into how these titles were received, providing a snapshot of the quality and variety available on the platform during this exciting time frame. Compatibility information indicates support for peripherals like the analog controller, light gun, and the Saturn's Netlink modem. This page continues the comprehensive SEGA Saturn software databank, covering releases primarily from March through June of 1997. The familiar grid layout presents details for a wide array of games launched during this period, listing their release date, title, publisher, price, genre, critic and reader scores, and compatibility with peripherals. This section of the databank showcases a vibrant mix of genres hitting the Saturn. You'll find major releases like Metal Slug, Command & Conquer, and Sonic Jam, which includes several classic Sonic titles and a bonus mode. The list also features popular fighting games like Virtua Fighter 2, strategy titles like Dragon Force, and quirky exclusives such as Nights into Dreams and 3 Dirty Dwarves. Simulation games like Decathlete and Princess Maker 2 also make an appearance, alongside visual novels and ports of arcade hits. The scores provided offer insight into how these diverse games were received by critics and players, and the compatibility notes highlight support for various controllers and memory expansion options available for the console. This page continues the extensive SEGA Saturn software databank, detailing games released from June through October of 1997. The familiar format lists titles, publishers, prices, genres, and includes columns for critic and reader scores, offering a glimpse into how these games were received. This section features some truly iconic releases for the console. You'll find major hits like Resident Evil, the arcade-perfect port of Last Bronx, and Mega Man X4, with special packs mentioned. Fighting game fans were well catered for, with the inclusion of Marvel Superheroes and Street Fighter Collection, bundling multiple classics. Other notable titles include Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story, The Blue Destiny, the popular puzzle game Puyo Puyo Sun, the beloved RPG Lunar, Silver Star Story and its enhanced MPEG version, and quirky exclusives such as Quiz Nanero Dreams and Mr. Bones. The list also covers strategy games like Super Robot Wars Fry and Simulations, alongside various action, adventure, and visual novel titles, demonstrating the Saturn's diverse library during this busy period. The scores provided offer fans insight into the general reception of these games at the time. This page continues the expansive SEGA Saturn software databank, now shifting focus to the releases from November and December of 1997. As expected, it follows the established format, detailing game numbers, release dates, titles, developers/publishers, prices, genres, reader and critic scores, and any specific hardware requirements or notes. This section showcases some powerhouse titles that arrived late in the Saturn's lifecycle. You'll find high-profile games such as the speedy racer Sonic R, the gorgeous shooter Cotton 2, the highly anticipated RPG Shining Force 2I Scenario 1, and the incredible arcade fighting port of X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which famously required the 4 MB RAM cartridge. The list also includes fan favorites like Princess Crown, the charming Atelier Marie and Ellie, The Alchemists of Salzburg, and the challenging strategy title Vandal Hearts. Beyond these big names, the database features a diverse range of games, from unique experiences like the sound-based adventure, Real Sound Kaisei No Regret, to various simulation, puzzle, and action titles, underscoring the breadth of the Saturn's library right up to the end of the year. The included scores and compatibility notes offer valuable insight for players looking back at this era. This page is an advertisement for the first volume of the Satamaga MOOC series, a comprehensive strategy guide for cyberbots. Full Metal Madness. It boasts an ultimate guide created by a 2D fighting game expert, featuring complete coverage for both single-player and versus modes, extensive data, amazing combos, and new illustrations and secret materials from the Capcom staff, priced at 1,500 yen.
This page is a reader survey form for the magazine, providing instructions on how to fill it out. It asks readers for demographic information like gender, age, and occupation, as well as their gaming habits, such as how many SEGA Saturn games they own and which gaming magazines they read frequently. The survey also seeks feedback on the current issue's articles and what readers hope to see for the SEGA Saturn in the future, including software and hardware improvements. The page includes lists of hardware, software titles, including many classic SEGA Saturn games, and articles from the current issue, each assigned a number for easy selection on the form. Examples are provided to show readers how to correctly fill in the numerical responses. It's a standard way for the magazine to gauge reader opinions and preferences. This page promotes the official strategy guide for Shining Force 2, I Scenario 1, God of the Capital, on the SEGA Saturn, as the first installment in the ambitious 3-part Shining Force 2 I saga. This guide was essential for players diving into the game after the series' 4-year hiatus. The page highlights that the guide is packed with valuable information, including comprehensive maps covering everything from towns to battle stages, detailed instructions on how to recruit allies, a complete list of all items in the game, and special sealed pages containing crucial data for the final chapter. The prominent artwork showcases main protagonist Synbios and other key characters from Scenario 1 engaged in battle against daunting foes, including what appears to be a formidable mechanical or golem-like enemy, capturing the epic scale of the game. The guide is presented as a must-have resource, emphasizing its data-rich content centered around stage maps and enemy information, designed to fully support players on their adventure. This page features a strategy guide for the classic RPG Grandia, titled Special Stages Are a Must-See, Grandia. It's presented as the 4th installment of a 14-page strategy feature. The main image prominently displays the Grandia logo, alongside vibrant artwork of the protagonist, Justin, and a detailed world map highlighting key locations. The feature celebrates reaching the 2nd CD of the game, noting that players will likely feel they have come a long way, perhaps around 40 hours in. The journey continues into deeper regions, promising new companions and exciting events in the latter part of the game, described as a significant and thrilling big party. This part of the guide also promises a thorough strategy for special stages like the Warrior's Grave and Castle of Dreams, which are separate from the main story. Another section details the journey after leaving Gadwin, emphasizing the arrival in an unexplored jungle region after a sea voyage. It touches upon the arrival in a wild, carnivorous, plant-filled jungle, and the mystery of who might inhabit such a place, continuing the sense of grand adventure. A strategy flowchart is also included, covering areas from the unexplored forest through locations like Kafu Village, Stone Forest, and the Tower of Temptation/military facility. It highlights that this guide covers these main areas as well as bonus dungeons and special stages completely, emphasizing the importance of maps due to the difficulty of enemies in these areas. The next page continues, the in-depth strategy guide for Grandia, delving into the challenging, unexplored forest area. As the text warns, the primary danger here isn't just enemies, but the aggressive carnivorous plants that can attack Justin and the party, even knocking them away with giant petals. This page provides detailed maps for sections of the forest, specifically Unexplored Forest 1 and 3, marking key item locations. For each section, a list of obtainable items is provided, including recovery items, gold, and potentially useful accessories or seeds. The guide also showcases some of the indigenous creatures you'll encounter in this jungle environment, such as land sea slugs, sweet swallowtails, university bugs, and chameleons. A significant highlight is the section dedicated to the mysterious rabbit character, Guido. The guide notes that Justin has a reunion with Guido in Unexplored Forest 1, Guido, who seems to know a surprising amount about the party's actions, provides some hints, although even the knowledgeable Moge tribe doesn't know everything, particularly regarding the location of the adventurer Alent. Finally, a flowchart outlines the path ahead, indicating that the guide will cover Kafu village, both the north and south Zil Desert, Zilpadon, and the east and west Savannah Wasteland, in upcoming issues. This page effectively breaks down the unexplored forest, guiding players through its dangers and secrets. The next page continues the strategy guide for Grandia, focusing on further exploration of the dangerous, unexplored forest. The guide details an encounter where a child's warning and a disembodied voice lead Justin and the party into a trap, specifically a pitfall. Detailed maps are provided for unexplored forest areas 4 and 3, marking locations where players can find valuable items such as gold, a golden potion, a magic seed, and a leaf shield. A dramatic event is highlighted. Nikki, one of the Gaunt's brothers, is captured by a plant creature called a Trent. This triggers a battle sequence crucial for the party's progress. Engaging in combat to rescue Nikki helps clear up the tension and misunderstanding with Rap, leading him to officially join the team. Rap, despite his rough exterior, is described as a passionate young man. The guide also points out unusual, large fruits found in the forest, revealing that these aren't just food, but serve as building materials for houses, and take a significant time to mature. The party's next destination, after navigating the unexplored forest, is confirmed to be Kafu village. This page continues the Grandia strategy guide. Focusing on Kafu village, we see a map of the village, marking key locations like houses, the elder's house, the inn, and the weapon shop. The text explains that, upon arriving at Kafu village with Rap, Justin and the party encounter villagers who are reluctant to accept outsiders due to their customs. Rap intervenes, helping them find a place to stay. We learn about Rap's grandfather, the village elder, who is described as stubborn but dedicated to protecting the village. The Kafu Inn is noted for its specialty dish, and it's mentioned that outsiders are permitted to use both the inn and the weapon shop. There's also a brief mention of a village researcher studying inedible mushrooms. The page officially introduces Rap as a new party member. He's characterized as having a sharp tongue but a warm heart. His fighting style is described as ninja-like, specializing in bows, knives, and magic. Screenshots demonstrate his techniques, including his signature move, Disc Cutter, known as Hasonage in Japanese, a powerful throwing attack that hits multiple enemies. One screenshot shows a character interaction, suggesting the resolution of the conflict with Nikki from the previous page, solidifying Rap's decision to join Justin's group. An item shop list is present, detailing available weapons and items, but the specifics aren't crucial. Rap is highlighted as a skilled fighter with high agility. This page continues the Grandia strategy guide, focusing on the stone forest area. Justin and Rap visit the former site of Kafu village, only to find it completely petrified. Rap reveals that a nearby structure, the Tower of Despair, is the cause of this strange phenomenon, prompting Justin to resolve to destroy it. Detailed maps of Stone Forest Area 1 and Area 2 are provided, marking the entrance, the path towards the Tower of Despair, and locations where players can find items and bird's-eye view icons. The lists of obtainable items in these areas include various amounts of G, money, seeds of defense, seeds of magic, mana eggs, seeds of life, a blizzard charm, and kusamochi. The guide also highlights the enemies encountered in the stone forest. While many are similar to previous forest areas, the alligator is specifically noted for its unique behavior, appearing suddenly on the field by warping, and being resistant to physical attacks, requiring careful strategy. Finally, the page introduces Milda as a new party member, describing her as a fearless power fighter from a village south of Lead. Milda is characterized by her high strength and stamina, specializing in physical combat using kicks and punches. However, her speed and magic abilities are noted as weaknesses. Screenshots demonstrate some of her powerful techniques, including Milda's wild dance, dropkick, and the impressive-looking continent splitter, which are strong physical attacks effective against enemies. This page continues the Grandia strategy guide, detailing the Tower of Despair. Picking up immediately after the previous section, the guide explains how Justin and his party arrive at the tower, only to discover it's a facility controlled by the Garlisle forces, adding a layer of intrigue to the military's objectives. The text notes the surprising appearance of Milda near the tower entrance, leading to an initial confrontation before she joins the party, also aiming to destroy the structure.
A section on enemies highlights the Elite Major, a Garlisle officer who drops useful items when defeated, advising players to prioritize taking him down. The guide also points out special features within the tower's seemingly simple layout,
such as laser-filled rooms on the first floor that damage the party if touched, and specific red areas on the second floor that trigger enemy encounters. 3 detailed maps cover the Garlisle Forces facility's first floor and the Tower of Despair's first and second floors, showing the layout, connections between floors, and marking locations for various obtainable items like money, a rescue set, seeds of running, a home run hammer, a vaccine, and important points like a Garlisle Forces warehouse and a save point. This page continues the detailed strategy guide for Grandia, focusing on the upper levels of the Tower of Despair. It provides a map for the 3rd floor, highlighting the layout and locations of various items like money, a vaccine, and a plug suit, as well as a save point. The guide explains the floor's primary challenge, manipulating switches to open and close specific doors, a puzzle required to progress. The main focus shifts to the boss encounter on the tower's top floor laboratory. Here, Justin and the party confront the Gaia Battler, a formidable foe with high HP and devastating area attacks like lightning and poison gas. The strategy recommended is a battle of attrition, relying on constant healing while slowly chipping away at the boss's health. The text reveals that the Gaia Battler is the true form of the creature responsible for petrifying the village, cultivated by the Garlisle forces. Following the difficult victory, the guide delves into crucial plot developments. Upon returning to the village, Milda is revealed to be working with the Garlisle forces, involved in cultivating Gaia's buds. This betrayal stuns Fina.
More dramatically, to combat a suddenly regenerating Gaia Battler, Lean transforms into a winged person of light, hinting at her true identity and complex reasons for her involvement with the army. Finally, a new enemy type, the Black Beret, is shown, indicating ongoing threats even after the tower's destruction. The next page continues the strategy guide for Grandia, covering the expansive Jewel Desert. This area is a necessary stop after the Tower of Despair on the journey towards Milda's hometown. The guide warns that despite the simple layout, the vast, featureless landscape makes it easy to lose your bearings. Although it's not a complex maze, it highlights that both the north and south sections of the desert contain special encounters and numerous hidden items. Detailed maps for Jewel Desert North and Jewel Desert South are provided, marking key item locations with numbers and showing the placement of a crucial save point in the north area. The guide points out exits leading to the Warrior's Grave and the Castle of Dreams. The desert is populated by tough enemies like the Jewel Scorpion, Sandworm, and the notable Cactus Man, whose confusing Hell Note attack can be troublesome. These foes possess high defense, making battles a bit drawn out.
The recommended strategy is to rely on ice or wind-based magic and skills, as fire attacks are ineffective. The presence of save points in both desert sections allows players to easily recover MP and SP between fights, facilitating this approach. The item lists detail various finds, including gold, recovery items, equipment like cactus armor and jewel sword, and accessories like the energy ring and anklet. This page dives into the town of Jiruba, reached after traversing the Jewel Desert. It's presented as a surprisingly lively place, even compared to Parm, filled with the sounds of vendors. Jiruba is notable as a rare melting pot where 3 distinct races, the Moge, Arcada, and Linfa, coexist. However, the guide points out that their relationships are far from harmonious, with evident tension between the groups. Jiruba functions as a stopping point on the way to Ray Village and offers shopping opportunities. Be warned though, the prices here are incredibly high, often a full digit more expensive than elsewhere. The guide explicitly suggests finding shopping alternatives, perhaps waiting until you reach the Savannah Plains if possible. Screenshots show various town scenes, including a shopkeeper selling Vita 1 gram, and interactions highlighting the racial tensions. There's also a list detailing the various items and their exorbitant prices available at the general store, and a map showing the layout of Jiruba, with numbered points indicating key locations like residences, the hotel, shops, and a cafe. The next page moves on to the Savannah Plains, the area you reach after leaving Jiruba. It covers both the western and eastern sections of the plains. The western part is described as having a similar feel to the Jewel Desert, but isn't a complex maze, though careful exploration is needed to find all items. Beware of the Bada Bada birds here, as they can sneak up and attack from behind if you let your guard down. Taking them out proactively is advised. The page lists the enemies encountered, including Jibua butterflies, jewel scorpions, sand sluggers, and the aforementioned Bada Bada birds.
There are maps for both the west and east planes, showing item locations marked with numbers, and treasure chests, marked with B. Item pickups mostly consist of gold, and some specific items, like energy apples, and secret skills. While heading straight to Ray Village means the eastern Savannah Plains is just a detour, the guide strongly suggests visiting it for a specific reason. Mysterious ruins containing a magic circle. This circle acts as a teleporter to a secret location, hinted to be revealed in the next issue. More importantly, the page highlights a shop right next to this magic circle, claiming its inventory is absolutely incredible and worth the visit alone. The Warrior's Mausoleum, a challenging optional dungeon in the Jewel Desert, offers valuable items despite not being part of the main story. This guide recommends taking breaks to conserve resources and using powerful magic due to the difficult enemies, including will-o'-the-wisps, sandmen, and iron giants. Utilize the save point on the first floor to restore MP. The Fist King boss battle demands a quick, aggressive strategy. Ignore parameter boosts, as his vanish ability negates them. Focus on your party's strongest attacks. Defeating him might yield the Heart of the Stones. Detailed maps from B1F to B6F highlight item locations and special features like hidden passages. Notable loot includes gold, heavy shields, warrior souls, and more. The guide helps players navigate and maximize rewards in this tough area. This page dives into the Castle of Illusions, an optional dungeon in Grandia. Unlike the standard progression of delving deeper, this unique dungeon features rooms that all connect back to a central large hall, making it easy to retreat and recover, even for lower-level parties. The great thing about this dungeon is you can acquire powerful items without having to tackle overly difficult enemies, except for the boss. Speaking of enemies, you'll encounter foes like the Salamodile, which is noted for its high defense, making fire magic ineffective. The boss is the ghost of the Castle Lord, who hits hard with repeated powerful magic. The key strategy here is to use skills and magic that don't advance your IP gauge too quickly to limit the boss's turns. Using powerful, instant attacks like the Sky Sword is highly recommended. There's also a warning about dodging a specific enemy beam attack by moving backward to minimize damage. The page provides maps for various areas within the castle, including the underground cemetery, knight's room, library, and more, along with lists detailing the valuable items you can find in each section, like mana eggs, gauntlets, and the death mask. It's definitely a worthwhile detour for boosting your party. This page transitions from dungeon maps to an enemy data list for Grandia, covering foes encountered up to this point in the adventure, particularly those from the tropical regions and significant boss encounters. The enemies here are noted for their vibrant colors and increased attack power and special abilities compared to earlier areas. The page lists various standard monsters like the slug-like Dononamako, the colorful sweet age-haw butterfly, large caterpillars, chameleons, alligators, and different soldier types, including the elite officer and black beret. Each entry provides basic stats like HP, experience points, and gold, along with descriptions of their special attacks and abilities, such as the Dononamako's defensive role or the alligator's paralyzing tail. It also features a boss enemy pickup section, highlighting notable encounters. This includes the Treant, a large tree-like boss with different stats for its body parts and abilities, like Flower Beam and Sleep Gas. Intriguingly, it also lists Milda, a character encountered in the Tower of Doom who later joins the party, noting her powerful special attacks like Milda Rampage and Dropkick. Finally, the formidable Gaia boss from the Tower of Doom is listed, detailing its various parts and devastating attacks like Poison Gas, Lightning, Ray Spread, and Combination. The section emphasizes that while bosses offer substantial rewards, their high HP and powerful special attacks require strategic party management, suggesting assigning roles like attackers, special attackers, and healers for efficient victory. This Grandia item guide covers weapons, armor, accessories, normal items, and event items available up to the game's midpoint. Weapons range from elemental blades, Ice Blade, to status-inflicting daggers, Assassin Dagger, catering to different character builds and enemy weaknesses. Armor prioritizes defense and resistances to elements and status effects, like the Beetle Helm for confusion. Accessories provide buffs, like the Anklet for movement, stat boosts, and passive effects. Normal items include healing herbs, SP recovery, status cures, and offensive items. Event items are specific to story progression. The guide stresses the strategic value of these items in overcoming Grandia's challenges. This page serves as a SEGA Saturn press feature, highlighting both recent and upcoming software releases for the console. The top section, dedicated to New Release Title, introduces the latest software, noting there are fewer titles covered this time around. It lists games like the simulation game Find Love 2 and Roommate 3 Ryuko, Kaze no Kagayaku Asa ni, suggesting a focus on narrative-driven experiences. The page features compelling imagery, including a large picture of the classic RX-782 Gundam mobile suit, hinting at one of the upcoming titles. The lower section, titled Coming Soon Soft, previews games that are set to launch soon, promising coverage from various angles. This list includes SD Gundam Gi Century S, Hokago Renai Club, Koi no Etude, Soko Seito Kai, Gunblaze S, and Coolie and Crisis, showcasing a diverse lineup from strategy and dating simulation to other genres. The presence of the Gundam imagery confirms the inclusion of SD Gundam G Century S, a strategy game featuring characters and mechs from the popular franchise. This page dives into Find Love 2, the simulation game, a dating simulation title coming soon to the SEGA Saturn. Featuring characters from the popular National Uniform Bisho Grand Prix series, this game challenges you to navigate high school life and romance. Out of the 35 girls from the original series, 10 fan favorites are chosen as the potential romantic interests you'll interact with. The core gameplay centers around your life as a high school senior in Seishikicho during summer break. You'll spend time communicating with the heroines while also pursuing your own goal of becoming a musician. Movement around the town and engaging in conversations are key to advancing the story. The game boasts numerous events and mini-games designed to keep things engaging and influence the direction of your relationships. These range from helping the girls with their future aspirations to specific activities shown in screenshots, like selecting items for sports or even choosing outfits. The characters are fully voiced, enhancing the immersive experience. Success in building relationships can lead to dates, and the scenario adapts based on your choices and performance in events and minigames. A fun extra is the ability to change the girls' costumes, with a dedicated mode available after you clear the game. The page showcases various scenes, from casual encounters on benches or trains to minigame interfaces and character profile screens, highlighting the game's vibrant presentation and focus on charming interactions. This page features Roommate 3, Ryoko in the Morning Light of the Wind, presented as the final chapter in the series. Developed by Datum Polystar and planned for a spring release at 5,800 yen, it's described as a real-time communication simulation game, recommended for all ages. The premise involves experiencing daily life alongside Ryoko Inoue, a familiar high school student character. This installment finds Ryoko under mental strain as she prepares for university exams, and the game challenges you to be her support. Gameplay revolves around more than just dates. You'll engage in everyday activities and go out with Ryoko using a town map to visit places like parks or antique shops. Communication is key, facilitated by a PHS mobile phone. You can make calls and send emails, with Ryoko sometimes sending cute messages like Suki Heart. The page highlights the importance of cherishing these interactions. Screenshots show Ryoko looking concerned, likely related to her studies, and another image depicts her in a different outfit. The text mentions how she reacts emotionally, crying or laughing, based on the protagonist's words, reflecting the challenges of her age. A character profile provides details about Ryoko, including her birth date, November 4, 1979 type O, height, 158 centimeters, and confidently shares her measurements, B85, W58, H86, noting that since you live together, you already know. The next page continues the feature on Roommate 3. The main visual features two illustrations of Ryoko Inoue, one carrying a bag, looking slightly shy, with a tagline above her saying, "Exams, love. I feel like I can do my best if you're there." The other illustration shows her in a red coat, holding a teddy bear looking excited. Below the illustration with the teddy bear, text reveals, "The secret of the teddy bear plushie." It explains that the bear acts as a proxy to deliver messages, allowing Ryoko to express things she can't say face-to-face, and wonders if her feelings will be conveyed. The page also details special promotions. One is a limited-time telephone service available for about a month from Christmas Eve, allowing players to hear Ryoko's real voice discussing holiday events. The other is a trading card campaign. The first print run includes an original card, and sending in an application ticket gets you another exclusive card. There are a total of 6 different cards to collect, 3 with the game, and 3 as gifts. Overall, this page reinforces the focus on emotional connection with Ryoko, as she navigates the pressures of exams and love, highlighting special features designed to deepen player interaction. This page features an upcoming SEGA Saturn title that recreates famous moments from the Universal Century Gundam saga, titled SD Gundam. The game boasts a scenario mode that reproduces 39 iconic scenes from the various series. On this page, we see a selection of 17 scenarios covering Mobile Suit Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam 0080, War in the Pocket, Mobile Suit Gundam 0083, Stardust Memory, and Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Each scenario is presented with its relevant UC date, location, and a brief description drawn from the anime episodes, like the intense battles at Jaburo, or the assault on Solomon from the original series, or key moments from Stardust Memory and Zeta Gundam, such as the atmospheric entry or the battle at Kilimanjaro. Screenshots accompany these descriptions, giving a glimpse of the game's presentation and gameplay, capturing the essence of these memorable events. The text emphasizes that the game is enjoyable even for newcomers to the original works, and playing with friends familiar with the series is sure to be exciting. This SD Gundam simulation game for SEGA Saturn covers diverse scenarios from the Gundam universe. The game features battles from Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ, Char's Counterattack, Gundam F91, V Gundam, G Gundam, and Gundam Wing. Scenarios range from the Dakar Battle, ZZ, to the final confrontation at Axis, Char's Counterattack. Later, events from Gundam F91, V Gundam, G Gundam, and Gundam Wing are highlighted. The game is nearing completion, currently at 90%. It is set to be released by Bandai on February 11th, priced at 6,800 yen. It supports 14-player battles and is suitable for all ages. Initial impressions suggest high replayability and smooth production.
This page continues the look at the extensive SD Gundam simulation game, highlighting the sheer scale, with a total of 198 different units available across 14 distinct armies or factions. Major powers from the Universal Century timeline feature prominently, including the Earth Federation, Principality of Zeon, AEUG, Axis, and D-Laz Fleet. The unit lists show a wide variety of mobile suits, mobile armors, and battleships from these eras, from the classic Gundam and Zaku 2, to more specialized units like the Dendrobium and Quible. Beyond just listing units, the page offers valuable gameplay advice. One section explains the importance of training pilots into aces. Pilots who survive battles gain experience and level up, eventually becoming aces, who can access powerful, often unique units that cannot be mass-produced, adding a strategic layer to unit acquisition. Another tip focuses on mastering the artillery command, available to certain battleships and units. This command allows indirect attacks from a distance, providing a significant advantage and making direct confrontations much easier, with the power of these attacks varying greatly between units. Screenshots scattered across the page illustrate the tactical map, in-battle scenes, and a unit status screen, showcasing the game's interface and presentation. The vast roster and tactical options suggest deep gameplay potential within this simulation title. The next page continues the massive unit reveal for the SD Gundam simulation game, adding even more depth to the roster by showcasing factions beyond the previously detailed Universal Century powers. Here we see units listed for the Titans, Neo Zeon, Shuffle Alliance, and Zanskar Empire, featuring iconic mobile suits like Theo and Sazabi. Further lists cover units from the Colony National Alliance and Oz, including fan favorites such as the V2 Gundam and Tallgeese. Adding another layer of strategic complexity, a section highlights high-performance unit characteristics. Certain powerful units possess special abilities, like the ability to split, enter hyper mode for temporary power boosts, or utilize defensive systems such as eye fields and beam coating to mitigate beam attacks. These unique skills are crucial for mastering the game's tactical battles. A short column reflects on the Big Gundam series, noting how many initial fans of the original Gundam were hesitant about it. The author admits to similar feelings, but found great enjoyment after watching it, appreciating the different energy it brings to the Gundam universe. This inclusion signifies the game embraces a wider range of Gundam series than just the Universal Century timeline. This page previews the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, After School Love Club Love Etude, a love simulation game from Libido. The page features 2 of the game's 5 potential love interests, introducing them with character artwork, profile details, and small in-game screenshots. We meet Rinko Yusa, portrayed as someone aiming to be like her mother and engaging in various lessons, and Mutsumi Horikawa, described as reserved in romance but forward-thinking, though it might take time to get close to her. The game is nearing its release, promising a volume increase with event graphics and animation. This feature specifically highlights the remaining 5 members and date spots, suggesting a focus on getting to know the cast and exploring locations for romance. It's clearly aimed at fans of dating sims, looking for new characters and scenarios on the Saturn. This page continues the preview for the love simulation game, After School Love Club, highlighting more of its cast before release. We are introduced to Kazumi Shindo, the protagonist's childhood friend who cherishes their friendship but has a surprising capacity for straightforward affection despite her awkwardness in romance. Also featured is Ayumi Inaba, an individualistic character who claims to be a songstress and is actively seeking band members. The page also shifts focus to introduce the male characters, including the protagonist, who is described with a degree of envy for his popularity, his friend Takeaki Shimamoto, the president of the romance club, and Kotaro Kawai, the calm sister's passionate brother. Finally, Masaki Shina is presented, a gymnastics enthusiast with a strong interest in romance who, despite her passion, seems to lack romantic opportunities, making the protagonist more aware of her. The article provides profiles and screenshots, giving players a closer look at these key characters and their roles within the game's romantic scenarios. This page continues the preview of the dating simulation game, After School Love Club, focusing on the earnest and lovable character, Nanase Horikawa. The page is structured around Nanase's perspective, detailing her journey in pursuing her senior. We see key moments depicted as spots on a map of Tsuu town. Nanase reflects on joining the romance club just to talk to her senior, and managing to get a special photo. On May 20th, she recounts a visit to the Hanakyo Cafe where she ate spaghetti and resolved to get better at cooking to impress her senior, who she heard is a good cook. Later, on June 1st, she talks about her first date with the senior at Tsuu Park, not going smoothly, but still finding it fun because her senior escorted her. Finally, on June 8th, as the club nears its end, Nanase expresses her feelings, becoming bolder to create lasting memories with her admired senior, mentioning a visit to the Gosei Planetarium, a popular spot for couples in Tsuu town. The page captures Nanase's emotional journey and determination through screenshots and her internal monologues, giving players a glimpse into her storyline and personality within the game. This page introduces Sane Orihara's perspective in After School Love Club, focusing on her developing feelings for Nanase Horikawa. Titled, Introducing Date Spots, it showcases locations in Tsuu town significant to Sane's story. Diary entries reveal Sane's emotional growth, from the excitement of joining the romance club to realizing her deeper feelings for Nanase. Key dates like May 19th, walking on Love Street, and June 1st, mentioning Nanase's tennis skills, highlight their interactions. By June 8th, Sane acknowledges her romantic feelings, previously unexpected. The featured spots include Love Street, the Ace Tennis Club, and the Observation Deck. Screenshots and illustrations depict key moments, suggesting a developing romantic relationship. This page previews Sane's potential storyline, hinting at a different romantic direction, likely focusing on a relationship between Sane and Nanase. This page is dedicated to the SEGA Saturn fighting game, Soko Seitokai Sonic Council, highlighting the impending release and a significant character reveal. The main headline boldly announces the arrival of Space Bancho Akio Shibata, who finally joins the battle. The game is listed as a fighting game from Banpresto, with a release date of January 29, 1998, priced at 6,800 yen, and recommended for all ages. It's proudly stated as 99% complete. The developers comment jokes about struggling with the final boss, suggesting a tough challenge awaits players. A major plot point revolves around the Great Space Festival, a martial arts tournament promising universal power to the winner. Invitation letters are sent out, attracting various students, though most general students remain unaware. The page teases what awaits at the end of the story, revealing Akio Shibata as the organizer and final boss of the Great Space Festival. He views himself as the strongest in the universe, constantly seeking worthy opponents across different planets from his spaceship headquarters, leaving administrative tasks to his subordinates. The central question posed is whether a warrior capable of defeating him will emerge. A profile for Akio Shibata is included, detailing his imposing physical stats. Screenshots show the game's stages and characters, while Fuma Kotono is mentioned as providing live commentary during the matches.
This page delves into the various modes available in Soko Seitokai Sonic Council beyond the standard versus battles, offering players different ways to engage with the game and improve their skills ahead of its release. The survival mode presents a gauntlet of consecutive matches, where your health slightly recovers between fights. As you progress, the CPU opponents become increasingly challenging in this seemingly endless test of endurance. For players looking to refine their technique, the training mode is essential. It provides a space with no time limit and a full power gauge, allowing unlimited practice of difficult command inputs and precise timing, like the Sonic Shift. You can even configure the opponent's actions to perfect your defense and learn every super technique. Interestingly, the developers note discovering a mysterious, undocumented move while practicing in this mode, a tantalizing teaser. The Versus mode introduces a unique feature called the diagram. This comprehensive system tracks your performance against specific characters, showing you clearly who you are strong or weak against. The diagram also incorporates rankings, influencing your overall position based on accumulated data. By fighting different characters, you fill out the diagram, essentially creating a detailed report card of your match history and proficiency. The page includes screenshots illustrating the game modes and the unique diagram feature, showing how it tracks wins and losses against each character. This page features an upcoming RPG for the SEGA Saturn titled Gunblaze. The key visual prominently displays the main characters: a swordsman on an airship, a woman with a large bow, and a man with a pistol, in a dynamic anime art style. The game is slated for a January 29th release, priced at 6,800 yen, and is recommended for players aged 18 and over. Described as a hit title finally arriving on the Saturn, Gunblaze is touted for its unique worldview, deep story, and high-quality graphics. The plot is set in 18th century London during the height of the Industrial Revolution. The story follows Jewel, a girl escaping the clutches of the Rose Cross Order who seek the Shining Star Crystal. She finds help from Private Detective Mark and is drawn into a battle surrounding the mysterious crystal. The Shining Star is revealed to be a purely artificial ether substance created by Jewel's grandfather, Drive Keen, and held within a pendant of immense power. The page highlights Jewel Flint as a central character, described as Dr. Keen's granddaughter, who possesses the crystal's strange power. Despite her petite appearance, she is a 17-year-old girl with the charm of a woman. Screenshots scattered throughout the page depict various scenes from the game, including dialogue sequences and aerial views, illustrating the visual novel elements and the setting. This page focuses on the SEGA Saturn version of Gunblaze S, highlighting the improvements and gameplay systems. The biggest change for the Saturn port is the addition of voice acting for the main character's dialogue, a feature that can be toggled on or off in the options menu. New graphics have also been added. The article gives a glimpse into the game's opening events. Players control Mark, starting with limited mobility. Movement is handled through a menu selection system, eliminating the need for field map exploration and random encounters with weaker enemies, making progress smoother. The opening sees Mark visiting his usual pub, discussing recent strange occurrences in London with the master and a regular named Trevor. As Mark heads home, he hears a scream and discovers Jewel in a perilous situation, being attacked by thugs near his house, leading to a dramatic scene where she is shown resisting in her undergarments. Like a typical RPG, Gunblaze S features experience points and levels, a status screen showing character parameters, and shops where you can purchase weapons and medicine to treat injuries. The game also includes a battle system. Encounters switch to a dedicated battle screen, where players can attack enemies, though combat requires weapons, with fleeing being the alternative if unarmed. This page features the upcoming SEGA Saturn action game, Courier Crisis. You play as an energetic messenger boy navigating a chaotic city to deliver documents and packages on time. The game throws you into a vibrant, polygonal 3D world, depicted across screenshots showing different street locations like India St. and Patterson Avenue. The city itself is described as an SF setting, marked by extreme contrasts between wealthy areas atop steep hills and poor slums below, a divide some see as a symbol of social class. The protagonist, estimated to be around 28, is putting everything on the line with his bicycle courier job. Commentary suggests the gameplay is refreshingly simple amidst more complex titles, focusing on the raw energy of cycling, tackling hostile characters, and immersing yourself in its quirky world. The game is listed as an action title published by BMG Japan, scheduled for a spring release at 5,800 yen, intended for one player and recommended for all ages. The development completion level is currently shown at 65%. It promises fast-paced biking action and possibly some physical encounters based on the accompanying phrases. This page expands on the details of the SEGA Saturn action game, Courier Crisis. It focuses on the life of a hardworking messenger boy navigating the city. The article details the core gameplay loop of picking up and delivering documents, emphasizing the high responsiveness of the bike controls. Screenshots illustrate traversing the urban environment. Beyond simple riding, players can utilize jump ramps strategically and perform various BMX tricks like tabletops and cross-ups for bonus points, adding a technical layer to gameplay. The dangerous nature of the job is highlighted, noting encounters with disruptive individuals like businessmen and even aggressive dogs, against whom self-defense is necessary and permitted. However, a crucial rule is presented. Resistance against the police is strictly forbidden and results in immediate consequences like arrest. A significant point is the game's partnership with GT Bicycles. All bike models featured are licensed GT bikes, ranging from basic starting models to high-performance bikes used by professional riders, which can be acquired as you earn money. There's even mention of a special rocket bike.
The article praises the inclusion of these detailed, real-world bike models.
This page provides technical advice for the SEGA Saturn game, Snowboarding Tricks. It focuses on mastering the downhill number 1 course, which is designed for both championship races and time attacks, allowing players to aim for high scores and fast times. The guide breaks down key areas of the course, emphasizing fundamental techniques. A primary focus is placed on mastering basic cornering, specifically the out-and-out line, which is crucial throughout the course, particularly near the start and before key trick points. Specific tricky sections are highlighted, including tight slaloms and a corner following a steep slope, where maintaining speed is challenging but essential. The page also details how to perform a high ollie jump, explaining that timing is critical for achieving maximum height to execute complex tricks for high scores. It suggests practicing the timing to get the feel for it. The advice includes insights from a professional boarder and game supervisor, emphasizing the importance of focus and concentration in snowboarding, both in the game and in reality. Basic game information like publisher, release date, price, and player count is also included.
This page serves as an introduction to a strategy guide section covering key SEGA Saturn titles released in the preceding months, including popular games from the end of the previous year. Featured prominently is an anime character, confirmed by the caption to be from the classic visual novel Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world. The page announces that upcoming sections will dive into strategy and details for several highly regarded titles, including Yuno itself, the Shin Megami Tensei spin-off Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, the charming shooter Cotton 2, the fighting game Greats Real Bout Fatal Fury Special and X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and the space adventure Galaxy Fraulein Yuna 3, Lightning Angel. This looks like a solid lineup of games getting dedicated coverage. This page delves into the strategy guide for the acclaimed visual novel Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world, focusing on the character Kana Hatano. Large illustrations feature Kana, highlighting her mysterious and captivating presence, which the guide discusses in sections titled Kana's Expression and The Hidden Truth. Her profile details her as a seemingly demure transfer student, with hidden depths and intriguing rumors surrounding her. The guide covers completing Kana's specific story path, a crucial step in the game's progression often undertaken after exploring other character routes, like those for Ayumi, Mio, Eriko, and Yukiki. Achieving this route rewards the player with the key to the study, an essential item. A strategy flowchart visually outlines the steps for Kana's path. After obtaining the key, the guide advises using it to access a new area and solve a puzzle involving a clock to acquire the final jewel. It cryptically hints that details for this step can be found by carefully examining the game's opening movie. The page provides screenshots related to Kana and the clock puzzle location. This page continues the strategy guide for Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world, shifting focus to the route for Kane Hatano. A detailed flowchart outlines the steps to take, starting from a decision point between locations 28 and 29 to follow Kane's storyline. Several key points are highlighted with markers A through Jig, offering crucial tips. Point A suggests visiting certain locations, stating the order doesn't matter. Point B describes a slightly complex event that occurs after specific movements around the mansion. Point C advises talking to a student in the hall before proceeding. Point D discusses the use of the Superstone,
and how it branches the path towards different items or endings. The guide also emphasizes the importance of gathering all 10 jewels, which is a requirement to progress to a specific path. Point F. Furthermore, it provides a hint for the answer to the King's Name, a puzzle encountered deep within the Triangle Mountain Cave. Point G. Suggesting the solution lies within the data stored in Area 3 of the handy computer. The final section proclaims that the story accelerates towards its climax once the jewels are gathered, hinting at the resolution of the narrative involving the protagonist and his father. Illustrations show clues related to the final stages of the game, including a scene seemingly set in a study. This guide focuses on achieving 100% completion in Uno, a visual novel, by navigating its branching paths. The guide categorizes branching points by place, item, choice, and condition, identifiable by colored symbols. Specific branching points are highlighted, including those dependent on possessing the study key, visiting the infirmary, Mio and Ayumi route, or finding Kane's handbook, Kaori and Kanaru route. Choices like hall or research room, though not directly impacting the main path, can affect later events. The guide also identifies how visiting specific locations or answering a call affects the available routes and items, such as the wooden sword. A visit to Geotechnics Corp is also a branching point, with the infirmary visit as a prerequisite. A one-point tip explains how to access the map for easier navigation, even without the jewel, using a reload technique or having specific items, improving the ability to complete the game. This guide dissects the branching narratives in Uno. It uses a colored map to visualize routes for Mio, Mitsuki, Ayumi, Kanae, Kaori, and the other world route. Key branching points are highlighted. Point 15 determines future locations. Point 16 requires a golden key or leads to the well. Point 17 uses a sword against Mitsuki, affecting ending 5. Point 18 involves choices between locations leading to random warping. Point 19 branches based on quiz performance. Points 37 and 38 detail conditional storehouse events and well interactions with the rope. Point 39 opens the door to another world, based on item collection or returning to your room. A one-point tip reveals hidden item usage, triggering unique character reactions, exemplified by using the rope on Kaori. This page presents a detailed flowchart for navigating specific character routes in Uno, picking up the discussion on branching paths. It focuses primarily on the story arcs involving Mio and Ayumi, and Kaori and Kana. The guide highlights key decision points and the resulting paths players can take. Critical junctures are numbered, such as Point 3, where finding Mio's memo pad is detailed, or Point 6, which branches based on whether you use the memo pad on Mio. Important character choices like selecting between Mitsuki or Yuki as a partner for cave exploration are covered at Point 8, a decision originating from an earlier branching point. Later sections, starting around Point 26, map out the Kaori and Kana routes, which become accessible under specific conditions related to using Kana's student id. Decisions at points like 28, 29, and 31 dictate progression within the Kana story, often involving choices between locations like the coast or central street, or interactions with other characters like chasing Kaori or talking to Masashi Huju at Point 30. The guide effectively illustrates the complex web of choices and consequences that define these intertwined narratives in the game. This page continues the detailed walkthrough for Uno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, mapping out more of the game's intricate branching narrative. It presents several key decision points that significantly alter the player's path. For instance, Point 9 forces a choice between escaping with Ayumi and Mio together or sending one of them alone, directly impacting the ending received. Point 20 shows how the story branches further after the events involving Yuki's lab, leading to different routes. Important item usage is highlighted at points like 21, where using the magnetic card on Shinri dictates the outcome, or 24, concerning whether to pass a document to Kaori. Later sections delve into decisions involving specific characters and items, such as Point 32, which is determined by giving the blue card to Kaori, or Point 34 regarding whether to take the Super Thought Stone. The subsequent points, 35 and 36, focus entirely on the Super Thought Stone's use, including the pivotal choice of giving it to Kaori or using it on Jin, Kana, which has major consequences for those character routes and potential endings. The guide emphasizes how these choices between seemingly simple actions lead down completely different narrative paths. This page features a beautiful artistic spread for Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, offering a glimpse into the game's concluding narrative. The main image depicts a serene forest path bathed in sunlight, evoking a sense of journey and peace after traversing the game's complex routes. Above this, large, stylized red text translates to, "One ending was the prelude to a further journey." Below, a smaller heading reads, "Prelude." A block of text appears next to smaller atmospheric landscape images. This section likely provides a narrative summary, or reflection on the game's conclusion, discussing the feelings associated with reaching the end and the potential for new beginnings. The bottom section prominently displays the game's title, Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, overlaid on large, stylized letters that seem to spell Yuno. A final line indicates this section is an epilogue story digest, suggesting a summary of the story's conclusion rather than a continuation of the walkthrough from the previous page. This page visually and thematically concludes the coverage of Yuno, reflecting on the player's journey through its intricate narrative. This page takes us back to the beginning of Takuya's journey in Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, focusing on his first encounters. It highlights the mysterious girl Cirrus, who Takuya meets in the vast forest. Although she cannot speak, her gentle nature is evident, and she eventually begins to follow Takuya as he tries to find his way. The page then introduces Arya, the guardian of the border, a crucial defensive line protecting the world of Delagrant from monstrous threats. Arya is a valiant figure, part priestess and part knight, but she is currently afflicted by illness, limiting her ability to act. It's through a Kriya that Takuya learns more about this strange world and the reason behind Ciri's silence. Screenshots showcase these key moments: Ciri's in the forest, a Kriya in her home, and even a peaceful scene of Takuya and Ciri's having a picnic. As Takuya becomes more aware of his situation, he decides to venture towards the imperial capital in search of a path back to his own world, reflecting the game's early focus on exploration and building relationships with these central characters. The page sets the stage for the journey ahead, concluding with a "To be continued" note. This page delves into the intricate demon system of devil summoners, soul hackers, a core element essential for enjoying the game. It highlights the process of demon fusion, explaining how combining demons creates entirely new ones, sometimes even resulting in never-before-seen races through fusion accidents, or specific alignment combinations like dark/neutral fusions. The page showcases several notable demons across different categories, including the hero Jeanne d'Arc and the fierce General Raihu, detailing their stats and backstories. It also introduces special demons obtainable only through fusion accidents or specific fusion types, such as the secret god Amenofutotama, the rare beast Chupacabra, the dignified god Ometeotl, and the wild god Aramasaki. The descriptions provide glimpses into their mythological or legendary origins, and touch upon their abilities or personality traits, like Jeanne d'Arc's loyalty, or Chupacabra's strange appearance and blood-sucking reputation. It's clear that exploring these unique fusion possibilities and recruiting powerful, sometimes unexpected, demons is a major part of the soul hacker's experience. This page continues exploring the deep mechanics of devil summoners, soul hackers, focusing on what happens when a demon reaches maximum loyalty. Demon crystal transformation. Loyal demons can turn into valuable items, often becoming powerful weapons or armor that can boost a character's stats. Examples shown include the fairy Vivian transforming into Lancelot's sword, and the divine bird Thunderbird becoming the Rasian sword, which has a unique electric shock effect. The page also highlights the special sword fusion system, where fusing specific demons like the destroyer Saitentai Sai, known as Sun Wukong from Chinese mythology, with the nameless sword creates unique weapons like the Ruyi staff, notable for hitting all enemies in the front row despite its low base power. Finally, it details the created demon forms, explaining how their appearance shifts dramatically based on the type and level of demons fused into them, showcasing distinct later-stage forms like humanoid, angelic, beast, and dragon types, each associated with fusing specific categories of demons. This page presents a comprehensive list of demons available in Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, specifically focusing on those up to level 51. The list is helpfully color-coded by alignment. Light-aligned demons are shown in yellowish-green, neutral in brown, and dark in purple. Each entry provides crucial details for players, including the demon's statistics, HP, MP, CP, inherent skills and abilities, resistances and weaknesses, and most importantly, the fusion recipes required to create them. This ties directly into the extensive demon fusion system, a core mechanic discussed on the previous page. Further enhancing player progression, a dedicated helpful section focuses on the Sea Arc dungeon. It advises players around level 50 that they can access floors up to the 7th. It details the types of demons encountered on floors 5 through 7, noting that floor 5 features demons around level 30, though no angels appear there. Floor 6 has demons from level 30 to 40, with many dark types and angel power, and floor 7 hosts demons in the upper level 40s. The guide highlights that the demons found in the Sea Arc are particularly useful for creating powerful, light-aligned demons through fusion. Maps for the 5th, 6th, and 7th floors of the Sea Arc are also included, providing essential navigation aid for players exploring this area. This page presents the 5th volume of the SATURN Manga Forum, a regular feature in the magazine dedicated to reader submissions and discussion, specifically focusing on Devil Summoner and Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers. It kicks off with a cover illustration for the week featuring characters from Soul Hackers. The VR Art Museum section showcases fan illustrations related to both Devil Summoner and Soul Hackers, highlighting reader talents. A special Striking Resemblance Award features a character portrait. In the Mega 10 conference room, readers discuss Soul Hackers, touching on the perceived lesser focus on law and chaos alignments compared to earlier Megami Tensei titles, but praising the significant evolution in visuals and movies. The This Week's Devil Card segment provides details and an image for the Pixie Demon from Soul Hackers. The VR Boutique features Spooky from Soul Hackers as a model for fan-related fashion or character interpretations. Finally, a Devil Summoner Q&A section addresses reader questions about the game, such as one concerning the in-game Paradigm Bank. The page concludes by actively seeking more reader submissions for future installments of the forum. Chapter 4 of Ginga Ojo-sama Densetsu Yuna 3. Lightning Angel begins after the Mobile Fortress battle, with Yuna's team venturing deeper into space to face the Mechanical Emperor. The chapter opens with a rescue mission, Dimensional Space, Rescue Ayako, against Tuka, a member of the Six Flowers. The strategy involves quickly defeating Tuka before she can be healed by enemy support units.
Mission 2 introduces a team split, with only Yuna's team being controlled. The choice made determines which character joins the party. Choosing Mianeya's route leads to Midori, while the other path leads to Saya. The guide recommends Midori. A crucial decision at the start of Chapter 4 affects Yuna's speed. Choosing Look Outside provides a speed +4 bonus, while choosing Search for Elnar yields no benefit. Lastly, mission data for Mission 1, including Tujuka's stats and victory/defeat conditions, is provided. This page continues the guide for Ginga Ojo-sama Densetsu Yuna 3, covering 2 distinct missions and introducing unlockable content in Chapter 4. Mission 2A involves fighting Mineya and her troublesome phantom troops, which are described as special weapons that disappear and reappear, making them difficult to defeat conventionally. The strategy suggests using decoy units to distract the phantom troops, while the main force focuses on Mianeya's. Mission 2B takes place on the Eternal Princess ship, and is a race against time to defuse 5 bombs. Hydrangea, one of the 6 flowers, is also present. The guide recommends having Misaki handle the bomb disposal, while the main force engages Hydrangea, noting the bombs also move and speed is crucial. The profile for Hydrangea is provided, detailing her level, HP, EP, and attacks, including a dangerous close-range attack and acid rain. After clearing Mission 2 of Chapter 4, the guide suggests taking a break and returning to Earth. Doing so triggers events. Visiting the TV station causes enemies to appear, and defeating them unlocks Kaede Yumoka as a playable ally. Her character profile and a key skill are shown. Additionally, returning to Yuna's house allows you to read fan letters from across the country, with many different ones available. This guide offers strategies for Stages 4 and 5 of Cotton 2, Magical Night Dreams. Stage 4's cave requires careful movement to avoid skeletons and turrets. The guide suggests specific attack patterns and techniques like command catching. The mid-boss, Bone Dragon, is defeated by attacking its tail and using command shots on its fire breath. The final boss,
two-headed meat dragon W requires destroying gems before attacking. Stage 5 is a medley stage, emphasizing early shot property changes. The guide advises navigating harpies and terrain cautiously. The mid-boss, Jomonosuke, is defeated by targeting surrounding clay figures with command shots. The boss, Magma Maid, is best handled by destroying light bullets and using command shots while maintaining a centered position to maximize combos. The guide provides expert advice through specific, actionable strategies for each stage. Stage 6 of Cotton 2 plunges you into a chapel, featuring reduced mid-boss durability and a parade of previous stage mid-bosses. Defeat these quickly to trigger more minor enemies for points. The stage culminates in a battle against Bun Bun Knight. Stay low, catch its vegetables for points, and attack pauses, and adapt to its changing attack patterns. Stage 7 is a bonus stage, a one-on-one fight focusing on combo building by sealing small enemies before attacking the main boss. The mid-boss is Wool. The summary advises practicing in training mode and score attack. It offers target scores and clarifies the final boss's name as Final Comet Diving. The page ends with an illustration of the main characters and a high-score screenshot. This page dives into Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, focusing on the moves and combination attacks of the game's hidden or alternate characters. It emphasizes the importance of understanding each character's strengths and weaknesses, noting that no single move is overpowered, so adapting your strategy to the situation is key. The guide highlights using the break shot mechanic effectively and discusses how defensive play, particularly managing your guard during plane switching, is crucial. It also explains that the most potent combos originate from launching combination attacks, which can then be cancelled into special or super special moves. The page provides detailed move lists for several alternate characters, including X-Blue Mary, X-Billy Kane, X-Cree Bogard, and X-Tung Fu Ru. For each, it outlines their throws, anti-air attacks, pursuit attacks, special moves, super special moves, and powerful potential abilities, which are crucial for turning the tide in battle. The guide notes that commands reverse when the opponent is on the left side, and some moves are specifically flagged as break shot compatible. This page continues the coverage of Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, shifting focus to the combination attack flowcharts for several of the game's primary characters. It presents visual guides showing various normal attack sequences that can link together or transition into special moves, offering players concrete examples of offensive pressure strings. The characters featured on this page include Terry Bogard, Bob Wilson, Ryuji Yamazaki, and D. Bogard, Hanfu, Jin Chonshu, Joe Higashi, Franco Bash, Jin Chonrei, Mai Shiranui, Blue Mary, Duck King, Sokaku Mochizuki, and Kim Kafwan. Each character section displays multiple starting moves, like close or far punches and kicks, or crouching attacks, branching into different follow-up attacks, and sometimes culminating in a special move input. These diagrams serve as a practical reference for players looking to extend their basic attacks into more damaging combos, building on the strategic concepts introduced on the previous page regarding maximizing offense and utilizing cancels. This page dives into the world of high-octane tag team combat, with a focus on X-Men vs. Street Fighter for the SEGA Saturn. The main theme here is mastering combos, the intricate attack sequences that deal massive damage and can turn the tide of a match. The page highlights specific characters under the This Week's Awesome People section, featuring fan favorites like Rogue, Cammy, Nash, Sabretooth, Storm, and Chun-Li. It then breaks down specific combo techniques for some of these fighters. For Nash, it details several combos, including one starting with his signature sonic boom, or even Juggernaut's earthquake punch. It mentions the timing for these can be quite strict. Cammy gets her own section dedicated to aerial combos, emphasizing the timing needed to maintain the sequence as you fall. Storm also has an aerial combo discussed, involving her aerial rave attack, which the guide notes is a very well-known and relatively simple combo. The page includes screenshots illustrating some of these combos in action, showing characters like Nash and Storm executing their multi-hit sequences. This guide serves as a practical resource for players looking to chain together attacks and maximize their offensive potential in this crossover fighter. This guide explores advanced character-specific combos in X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It details powerful attack sequences for Sabretooth, Storm, and Chun-Li's. Sabretooth's section focuses on jump chain combos and a complex sequence following an air throw, including his Weapon X dash and Berserker Claw X. These are particularly effective against larger characters. Storm section emphasizes aerial combos initiated after a throw, including a dizzy combo leading into lightning storm, and more complex aerial chains. Repeat these chains for optimal results, especially against large opponents. Chun-Li's combos involve aerial chains that require precise timing. The goal is to connect her strong kick, followed by a jump chain, and then a directional strong kick. This page features the second part of a special feature dedicated to illustrations of the popular character Chun-Li from the Street Fighter series. It showcases a wide variety of reader-submitted artwork, highlighting her significant popularity among fans. You can see numerous different styles and interpretations of Chun-Li across the page, from detailed pieces to more whimsical takes. Alongside the artwork, the page includes important announcements for readers submitting content to the magazine's Harokapu section. There's news about revised submission rules and new content categories for 1998. These new corners include a section for illustrations and information related to recent and upcoming games like Silhouette Mirage, Pocket Fighter, and the arcade versions of Dungeons & Dragons. There's also a general illustration corner and a section for written submissions like Thoughts on Software. Furthermore, there's an announcement about changes to the prizes offered for submissions, including a specific Lucky Bag prize coming up in Volume 46. Finally, there's a small note mentioning the removal of the Mega Man logo and a call for readers to submit ideas for a new logo to represent the section in the future.
This page features an exciting interview with two key figures from Capcom, Noritaka Funamizu and Kaoru Tomita, discussing the recently released Marvel vs. Capcom. Funamizu, a deputy head of development, and Tomita, from the arcade team responsible for the Versus series, delve into the game's development and features. They talk about how the game expands on the crazy cool style of the Versus series, highlighting the variable cross system and the inclusion of a wide roster of popular Capcom heroes like Strider Hiryu, Captain Commando, and even Mega Man, including a unique combination move where Mega Man merges with a giant robot. The interview touches on the differences between the arcade and potential console versions, discussing elements like turbo speed and character patterns. They also reflect on character selection and what constitutes a well-made fighting game. The page is visually anchored by a dynamic screenshot showing Venom facing off against Captain America and Strider Hiryu in the game. It provides great insight into the design philosophy behind this major fighting game title. The next page continues the interview with Capcom developers Noritaka Funamizu and Kaoru Tomita, who delve further into the design and animation that make Marvel vs. Capcom stand out. They highlight the intensive work that goes into bringing characters like Strider Hiryu and others to life, with their unique movements and abilities within the fast-paced fighting system. The page also presents exciting year-end and New Year's gifts for readers, including rare arcade boards for Vampire Savior 2 and Vampire Hunter 2, as well as merchandise lucky bags featuring goods from games like Rival Schools. Readers had the chance to win these by submitting creative entries, such as drawings or letters about their favorite Capcom titles. Additionally, the page includes a featurette on Venom, exploring the origins of this symbiotic character from the Spider-Man comics, and discussing his formidable presence and chaotic fighting style as he makes his impactful debut in Marvel vs. Capcom. This page provides essential battle advice for Rival Schools. United by Fate, a dynamic fighting game featuring high school students. The guide outlines key mechanics players should learn to gain an edge. School Rule 1 details the Neketsu combo system, explaining how to link normal moves into longer attack sequences, often finishing with a special move or guts attack. School Rule 2 covers the guts counter, a defensive option that allows players to quickly retaliate after blocking an opponent's attack. School Rule 3 distinguishes between the two main supermove types, the single-gauge guts attack and the impressive two-gauge team UP attacks performed with your partner. Lastly, School Rule 4 emphasizes the importance of using the axis shift mechanic to sidestep attacks and create openings, recommending punishing opponents with back throws after a successful shift. The page also notes that taunting helps fill your gauge, and mentions strong CPU opponents in the game's story mode. This page introduces the arcade game Zero Gunner from Psikyo, featured in Arcade Express Volume 14. Described as Psikyo's first attempt at a 3D vertical scroll shooter, the game plunges players into a near-future world plagued by weapon terrorism, leading to a first-class alert. Players control an elite helicopter unit tasked with urban recapture missions. A key innovation highlighted is the game's 360-degree rotation lock-on system, which uses a simple control method to offer a fresh approach to shooting gameplay. Zero Gunner runs on the Sega Model 2 arcade board and supports simultaneous two-player action. Screenshots showcase the game's 3D graphics and intense aerial combat. This page continues the look at Psikyo's Zero Gunner, elaborating on the game's core features introduced previously. It highlights the 3 distinct helicopters players can choose from: the modified Apache A-64X with seeking missiles, the modified Cobra A-1SX equipped with multiple rockets, and the gunship Nakajima, a custom Japanese design firing penetrating plasma rounds. The game system is detailed as a 3D shooter set in a near-future world combating weapon terrorism, controlled via an 8-way lever and 2 buttons. A key mechanic is the 360-degree rotation automatic lock-on system, activated and maintained by holding a button, allowing flexible targeting. Course selection offers diverse global locations like Asia, America, and Europe, plus an expert mode featuring famous landmarks such as Osaka Castle, the Statue of Liberty, and the Leaning Tower of Pisa, making each stage visually unique. SEGA themselves note that this is their 7th shooting game, and their first venture into 3D, emphasizing the revolutionary 360-degree lock-on system. This page features an interview with Katsuya Nakagawa, head of Sega's AM1 R&D division, discussing the advancements of the Sega Model 3 arcade board, specifically the new Step 2 revision. He highlights the significant performance increase, stating the board can render 1 million polygons per second consistently, even with complex effects, which translates to 2 million triangles. The CPU speed has also seen a substantial 70% boost. Nakagawa explains that the Model 3 hardware evolved through stages, starting with Step 1 and 1.5 used in games like Virtua Fighter 3 and Scud Race, leading to this final powerful Step 2 version. The article showcases Harley-Davidson and L.A. Riders as the first game to fully leverage the Step 2's capabilities, allowing for the rendering of vast environments like entire cities. Screenshots illustrate the graphical improvements across the different Model 3 iterations, showing enhanced detail and complexity in fighting and racing game scenes. The improved board enables multiple advanced effects simultaneously, making it a top-tier arcade platform. Other games benefiting from this hardware include Virtua Striker 2 and Virtua Fighter 2. The page also touches upon the technical specifications of the Model 3 Step 2 board. Sega's AM1 R&D division discusses their arcade title, Harley-Davidson and L.A. Riders, a game leveraging the Model 3 Step 2 hardware. Katsuya Nakagawa, head of AM1, highlights the game's open-world design, contrasting it with traditional racing games, and drawing inspiration from Outrun. The Model 3's power allows for detailed environments and numerous moving objects. The page also features an interview with sound designer Masanori Takeuchi, who composed the game's music after original plans fell through. He emphasizes the importance of the music, including the guitar solos he performed, and recounts the experience of recording authentic Harley engine sounds. Finally, AM1 R&D offers a New Year's message, previewing upcoming Model 3 titles for 1998, including Harley-Davidson and Ski Out of Bounds, plus unannounced projects. A CG image featuring the House of the Dead characters hints at potential multiplayer features. Cybertroopers Virtual On Over humorously details a mission by 3 to examine the desks of Virtual On game developers. They target Mr. Ari, the visual designer, whose desk reveals a techie speaker, historical items, and unusual watches. The article highlights obscure references and oddities, sparking playful commentary. Next, the investigation moves to Mr. Arata, the programming lead. His desk, a mechanical space, includes a futuristic gun, a small robot, and notebooks filled with Star Wars references. A hologram from the robot, parodying Jabba the Hutt, delivers a debt collection message, leaving the 3 members disturbed. The article, rich with inside jokes and pop culture, offers a lighthearted look at the developers' interests and personalities. The 3 group, dedicated to reforming the arcade industry, investigates the desks of Cybertroopers Virtual On developers. First, they examine Mr. Ozaki's intricately designed desk, filled with military-themed elements, a Zagok diorama, and parody sneakers like Air Granmel. Though impressed by some items, they are ultimately disturbed. Next, they analyze Mr. Kawara's desk, the series producer and director, whom 3 considers their adversary. His desk is surprisingly plain, a disappointment to the group. The page concludes with Truth of the Month, Revelations, Rare Items Are Fake, Comparisons to Han Solo, and a Painful Yakiniku Memory. An official formula humorously defines the Virtual On worldview. Finally, there's an announcement regarding a delay in t-shirt production, a call for new members, and a hint at the next 3 pirate broadcasts. This page features the AM2 Official Corner, Volume 83,
focusing on looking back at 1997 and discussing the future challenges for AM2 in 1998. The main focus is an interview with Toshihiro Nagoshi, known for his work on games like Outrun and Daytona USA, where he discusses his role as AM2 deputy manager. He reflects on 1997, highlighting the success of Virtua Striker 2, particularly its timing, coinciding with the World Cup excitement. Looking ahead, Nagoshi discusses the evolution of CG graphics and driving games. He notes the rapid leap in visual fidelity from the Model 1 board era to Model 3, acknowledging that showing groundbreaking new visuals might be reaching a peak for now, and the next significant leap might occur around the year 2000. He specifically mentions Scud Race and Scud Race Plus as examples of pushing the boundaries of visuals for driving games on the Model 3 platform, referencing the screenshots shown. He suggests that while visual advancements are important, focusing on refining the core gameplay experience for players who are already invested is a key direction for future game development. The next page continues the interview with Toshihiro Nagoshi, focusing on the evolution of CG in driving games and what is required for future titles. Nagoshi explains that while CG has evolved significantly, achieving the level seen in games like Daytona USA 2 on the Model 3 board requires immense effort, skilled staff, and considerable cost. He stresses that the fundamental goal isn't just photorealism, but making the game fun, acknowledging that the pursuit of realism can sometimes overshadow enjoyable gameplay elements. He discusses the challenges of developing games with this high level of visual fidelity, describing it as a difficult and expensive process. Looking ahead, Nagoshi touches on the prospects for arcade ports to home consoles. He notes that porting their latest arcade titles, like Virtua Fighter 3, which didn't see a console release in 1997, is a complex task and not something they prioritize for immediate release after the arcade version. He suggests the industry is set for significant changes this year, hinting at new directions for both arcade and home game development, and expressing hope that they can continue to make innovative games that users enjoy. The page includes screenshots showcasing the detailed graphics of the driving games being discussed.
This page features an interview with musician Keiichi Suzuki, known for his work with the band Moonriders and his distinctive compositions for video games. Titled Memories of Games 2. Nostalgic Sound, the piece delves into Suzuki's experiences scoring titles like The Beloved Mother and Earthbound, Mother 2. Suzuki discusses his work on the SEGA Saturn game Real Sound, Kaze no Regret, a unique title notable for being entirely audio-based with no visuals. He describes the challenge of composing music solely based on the scenario, a process he found quite difficult compared to composing for games with accompanying visuals. He reflects on recalling nostalgic sounds and themes, like school chimes or classical pieces, to inform his compositions. Beyond his professional work, Suzuki shares personal memories of being a gamer himself before entering the industry. He recounts his excitement upon discovering a Famicom, Nintendo Entertainment System, and highlights significant moments like the arrival of a television and the Famicom in his home. The page includes a portrait of Keiichi Suzuki and a photo of a young person sitting in front of a Konami arcade rhythm game cabinet. This page explores the subtle relationship between games and art, particularly how memories are resurrected through music on the Sega Saturn. The author, Fuse Sensei, reflects on using their Sega Saturn not just for games, but also unexpectedly for playing music crids. Despite having other music players, they found that listening to music through the Saturn, connected to the TV, evoked a unique, almost melancholic emotional response. This feeling wasn't just about the music itself, but how the sound was intertwined with the countless gaming experiences and memories associated with the console. The article highlights how the same digital data can create different emotional states depending on the context of the playback device, especially when that device holds significant personal gaming history. The piece suggests that the specific games played on the Saturn influence how its sound output affects the listener, creating a special musical world inseparable from the game experience. The column, titled Weekly Fuse Academia, includes an illustration of the author relaxing while listening to music. This page features Mother Hakozaki's fortune-telling for the week of January 9th to January 15th. The page introduces Mother Hakozaki as someone whose accurate predictions have led to increasing inquiries about her identity. A specific, lucky person of the week is highlighted. Yamakoshi Yuri from the dating simulation game class Reunion Love Club. Born on January 15th under Capricorn, she is described as hardworking but easily distracted. The fortune for her is generally average across money, health, work/study, and love,
with advice to focus on one thing at a time and manage stress. The main body of the page provides weekly horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs, Aries through Pisces, divided into predictions for boys and girls. Each sign has a small illustration representing it. The horoscopes offer brief advice on various aspects like luck, health, relationships, and actions to take for the week. The section is a comprehensive look at the week ahead based on astrological signs and gender. This reader-submitted Saturn Secret Techniques Corner features game-specific tips. In Twinkle Star Sprites, clearing the game once unlocks speed adjustments. Additionally, setting your Saturn's clock to December 25th changes the opening graphic, showing Load Ran in a Santa costume. For crows, the battle action, pressing L and R on the title screen, grants extra credits, up to 9. Finally, in Minari 1 Furlong Gikiju, pressing A, C, and Start simultaneously on the auction screen allows you to buy foals at a discounted price. The page encourages further reader submissions of SEGA Saturn tricks. This SEGA Saturn software review section previews games releasing January 9th-15th. 2 games receive detailed reviews. Hukago Renai Club. Koi no Etude, a dating sim, received a 6.6610. Reviewers praised its focus on dialogue and character interactions, though some found the added animation rough. It's considered a light-hearted entry point for the genre. Mario Mushano no Chao Shogi Juku, a shogi training software, scored a 6.3310. This tool teaches the basics through a queue and a format and certification, but lacks traditional gameplay modes. Reviewers felt the problem-solving approach could become repetitive, making it suitable only for absolute beginners. The page also introduces its female and guest reviewers and provides context on their perspectives. This page continues the SEGA Saturn software reviews, focusing on games releasing around January 15th. First up is Sankyo Fever Jiki Simulation, SATS Volume 2, a pachinko simulation. It aims to replicate popular pachinko machines. Reviewers were split. One enjoyed playing featured popular machines like Pistol Daimyo, but felt the probability might be rigged, while another found the overall execution half-baked with weird story conditions and unappealing character design. Scores range from 3 to 5. Next is the adventure game Kindaichi Case Files, Hoshijima Ishu no Revenge. Based on the popular mystery series, this title lets you play from the perspective of the culprit. Reviewers liked the story and character art, but criticized the gameplay mechanics, citing a shallow investigation system, difficult minigames, long load times, and a lack of flexible saving. Despite flaws, the engaging plot earned its scores of 6 and 7, especially recommended for fans of the original series. Finally, the Star Bowling Volume 2 combines bowling with dating sim elements, featuring popular voice actors. While it appealed strongly to fans of the voice cast and offered potential as a party game, reviewers largely agreed that the core bowling and story modes showed little to no improvement from the previous volume, leading to low freshness and scores of 4 and 6. It's primarily seen as a title for voice actor enthusiasts rather than a solid sports or dating sim experience. This page presents an overview of upcoming SEGA Saturn software releases. Essentially, the release schedule for the coming months. Covering late January, February, March, and some undecided titles, it lays out the release date, game title, price, manufacturer, genre, and compatibility notes for a wide variety of games hitting the market. As an expert, glancing through the list reveals a solid lineup. February and March look particularly strong, bringing us major titles like Panzer Dragoon Saga, listed as Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG, the adventure classic Riven, the sequel to Myst, the fast-paced anti-grav racer Wipeout XL, known as Wipeout 2097 in the West, and arcade hits like Die Hard Arcade, Dynamite Deca, and Power Drift, as part of Sega Ages. We also see strategy heavyweights like Command & Conquer and Shanghai, Great Wall, the unique RPG Baroque, and the intense shooter Burning Rangers. There's a good mix of genres represented, from RPGs and action games, to sports, simulations, and adventure titles, alongside plenty of Japan-exclusive releases covering everything from dating sims to pachinko simulators. The key provides a handy guide to the genre abbreviations and lists compatibility options like specific controllers. Overall, it highlights a busy and exciting period for SEGA Saturn owners. This page continues the release schedule we saw on the previous page,
pushing further into the year with entries for March, April, spring, summer, and a large section of undecided releases. Scanning the list, March includes Hexen, the puzzle RPG Waku Waku Puyo Puyo Dungeon, and the arcade horror shooter The House of the Dead. April brings us the tactical simulation Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, and the peculiar action title, Karyotos. Looking ahead to spring and summer, we see titles like Ultraman, Zukan 3, Lupin III, The Sage of the Pyramid, SNK Fan Collection, Fatal Fury, and the action-adventure Super Adventure Rockman. There's also the Dungeons & Dragons collection, and the highly anticipated Shining Force 2, Scenario 2, listed here as a placeholder. The largest section details many undecided releases, a common sight in schedules like this. Among them are the action-packed compilations Image Fight and X Multiply and Edward Randy/Arcade Gears, fighting games like Astra Superstars, Raiden Fighters, and the arcade port of Virtua Fighter 3, along with RPGs like Black/Matrix and the classic Lunar, Eternal Blue. We also see major horror title Resident Evil 2 listed, the fun Pocket Fighter, and the crossover fighter Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Other notable entries include Contra, Legacy of War, the adventure title Heart of Darkness, and even productivity software like Polygon Basic. It's clear the Saturn still had a diverse range of software planned, even if many dates were still up in the air at this point. This page is all about the Reader Presents and staff information. The main focus is a giveaway campaign for SEGA Saturn Magazine readers. They are giving away several exciting prizes. Prize number 1 is one of 20 SEGA Saturn compatible software titles, pictured with Sega Rally Netlink Edition. Prize 2 is a set of 3 unique Sakura Wars panel clocks for 3 lucky winners. Prize 3 offers 10 copies of the guidebook for the puzzle game Poochie Carrot. For fans of Sega's mascots, Prize 4 is a Knights and Sonic Blazer button set, with 20 sets available. Finally, Prize 5 provides a 4-poster set featuring characters from Super Real Mahjong 7 for 5 winners. Details are provided on how to enter, primarily through a postcard application. The page also includes a list of the magazine's extensive staff, acknowledging the many people involved in creating each issue. An information section mentions upcoming features in future issues, including a focus on figures and updates on new game releases. There is also contact information for content inquiries and the release date for the next issue, which is January 16th. Finally, a section lists the winners from the giveaway featured in the December 19th issue. This page dives into the world of Sokusei Tokai, also known as Sonic Council on the Sega Saturn. It's an announcement for the game's official soundtrack release. The page features a striking main illustration, packed with the game's colorful cast of characters, alongside smaller circular portraits highlighting individual heroes and heroines. This isn't just a music collection. It features the original sound sources straight from the Sega Saturn version, aimed at dedicated players. The soundtrack includes not only background music but also drama tracks and character themes, bringing the game's universe to life through audio. The page lists the contents, including various drama scenes and character-specific themes, and also highlights the cast of performers involved. The soundtrack CD, catalog number Kika 1206, was released on February 4th with a price of 2,854 yen, including tax. It's presented as a must-have for fans who want to experience the game's audio jewels and delve deeper into the world of Sokusei Tokai, Sonic Council. The page also mentions related CD drama releases that were already available, expanding on the game's story and characters through audio plays. This page serves as the striking cover for an issue of SEGA Saturn Magazine. It features a close-up, stylized image of the protagonist from the game D2, Laura Parton, immediately drawing attention to the game developed by Warp Inc. The prominent red D2 logo sits center page, accompanied by the tagline, "Runs Under." This cover highlights an upcoming title, hinting at its presence and coverage within the magazine. The page also includes standard magazine information, such as the publication date, identifying it as the January 23, 1998 issue, and the price. The logo and contact information for Warp Inc. are also visible towards the bottom, reinforcing their connection to the featured game.